We're live, bitches. Just give us a second, and we'll go from there. I want to just see if I have something here real quick. Nope. Okay. Never mind.
Just kidding.
Did you share on Facebook?
Yes, I did. I sure did. All right. Here we go.
This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Welcome to Dead Radio.
We're not doing that.
How did she come to have sex with a dead man?
Don't call me Radio Unit 91.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man!
He's God here in this radio station.
Place where the dead speak.
Rebel Radio!
I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead?
You ever think about doing radio?
My team is dead!
But you're not crazy. You're me. And this is just radio.
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
All right. It's my wife.
It's so weird. She like jacks this one way down and then loosens this one
Yeah,
up.
because she's constantly moving around when she's playing. It's the craziest thing. She doesn't sit the fuck still. We're talking about my wife playing D&D.
I thought you were calling the microphone your wife.
No, no. My wife sits there when we play D&D.
Yeah.
And I record them. We have another podcast.
Oh.
And
Why don't you plug it?
it's called Roll for Semantics. I was getting there.
He's taking his time.
And what the fuck? The when she plays, she's like standing up and moving.
Oh man.
It's like
Yeah.
yanking the goddamn thing around. So I'm like,
I need some jet dry, Ryan.
I got hard water spots.
You get like that gritty, sandy stuff sometimes. My dishwasher does it all the time.
Yeah. Well, we also use the powder soap, which
Yeah.
is just
Why?
because
you're
because my
cheap.
wife does the dish detergent shopping. I don't buy that at the store.
Detergent store.
Yeah, I don't go to the dish detergent store and
Yeah.
buy that. She
Neither
does.
do I.
Wherever it comes from, there it.
Yeah.
It's just there, so I use it, and it's the cute. It's like the Tide Pods, but it's a. It's
But it's
just
like hard? Like
it's a powder form,
powder.
so it's like a compact brick of it. So, which is
Yeah.
probably a
I
good
thought
way
you were
to
talking
smuggle
about,
cocaine.
I thought you were
right?
talking about like the Cascade in a box and you like pour it out.
That's old school.
That's what I thought you were talking
We had
about.
to use that in Germany.
Yeah?
Yeah. We had to wash the dishes when we were done with the Airbnb, and all they had was like fucking Clorox, like
Hardcore.
powdered dish soap.
Soap.
I was like, what fucking year is this?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know they still made that
In
shit.
the old country.
It can't be. It can't be good. But yeah. So welcome to episode 238. We're here with Eric from Slate Point Meadery.
Hello.
Still have to concentrate on that one.
Yeah, me too. It's really tough.
But yeah, man, it's your annual visit to the show.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Has it been like once a year for the past like?
I don't know.
It's been long enough that I need a new hat.
Oh yeah, me too. I need a new hat.
Mine
as
is
well.
really, really, really gross.
It's grosser than this.
Probably.
Yeah?
There's a
I don't wanna see
ring,
it.
like a visible ring
Oh yeah.
on the
yeah.
bottom, and I can't get it out.
Really?
I
The sweat ring?
seriously boiled water and dunked the hat in it, and it won't go away.
Wow.
I wore it every
Yeah.
day for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
mean-
appreciate that. Thank you. No, after a while at events and stuff, I would sweat so much, and like
Yeah.
you would see like
just a puddle on the top of my head. Yeah.
Seeping
Well, my
through.
cousin's Aleworks hat lasted one weekend at the Truck Nationals, and it almost looks camouflaged, like from the salt and the sweat. It like bled.
It probably tastes really
it bled
great.
the color right out of it,
Salty.
and it's just permanently like that now.
God
Nice.
damn it.
Yeah, but
That's
it was also 100
fucking
degrees
gross.
out in the sun.
Yeah.
I used to have.
That'll do it.
I still have a couple hats from that I used to wear in high school that
Gross.
are still
Wow.
fucked up a little.
Yeah, but you're not a
like
hat
terrible.
guy, right?
No, I
Yeah,
was
that's
in
why.
high school like a lot, and
Oh,
then I
yeah.
grew my hair out and I stopped wearing a hat
Gotcha.
because of that, and I never looked back.
Yeah.
Why would I cover this up?
No, exactly.
This luxurious mane.
I agree.
But
No, we plan on coming out with some new merchandise. So
Sweet.
yeah, hopefully like springtime we'll have.
Yeah. Well, I would
have
love
a
like a polo or something like that with your logo on it,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I have a long trail one
Mhm.
that I wear at the bar all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like work appropriate,
Right.
but it's comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah,
button-up
nice and
shirt.
airy,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
golf shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I actually
Yeah.
have some of those. So
Yeah.
next time I'll definitely bring one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
Yeah,
think got
I
a
like
couple,
those,
so.
and they're like lightweight, wicking. Doesn't show like big armpit sweat
Mhm.
stains after you're working
Yeah.
a double.
is
Yeah,
it a
the-
short sleeve one or?
They're short sleeve. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they're black. So yeah, you can't see the
Oh,
pit
that's
stains.
good for the cup too.
Yeah.
Take
There
one.
you go. All right. Yeah, I got.
I mean, we sell your shit. We might as well wear the clothes
I
too.
agree. Yeah.
No. But yeah, Slate Point Meadery.
Mhm.
If you're looking to try some of their stuff, if you live in this area,
Mhm.
Or anywhere. You
Anywhere.
can buy it
Poughkeepsie.
online.
Well, any
Well, yeah,
Any
you can-
state where you can deliver
particular
it to.
states. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, spmeadery.com or at spmeadery on Instagram. If you want to pop into the Crafted Cup when it's afternoon, you could try. We have the Cornerstone and we have the Greenlit.
Yeah. These two
And
guys.
I'm a huge fan. Like the Greenlit at first, I was like kind of funny about it,
Mhm.
and now I'm like, it's right up there with
It's
the
right there.
Revolution.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
blood orange hop one, man. That's the
That's
fucking
yeah.
best.
Oh, sorry, I didn't bring any.
Yeah,
Should've
no,
brought
it's all
some.
good. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
But,
I did try that and I did really like it.
Yeah. The
I
green-
held
green
out like I grabbed a can
Mhm.
from Well, no, I didn't. I bought it from the meadery. I had it delivered to my house, and then I sat on it for like 4 days, and I couldn't wait to
No,
bring
no.
it here, so I drank it at home.
It's all good.
Yeah.
They're not meant for waiting, especially the canned ones. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the Cornerstone, that's a limited thing. That you
Mhm.
can only get that at Crafted Cup.
Only
Yeah.
Crafted Cup and through us, but I mean
Yeah.
at this point just Crafted Cup.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, it's limited.
It's.
Is that's the same run?
No, it's a different batch.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask because
yeah.
it tastes a
It tastes
little
different.
bit different,
Mhm.
and not in a bad way, just
Yeah,
different.
just
and I'm
different,
wondering
yeah.
if anything changed or maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I use the same ingredients. I use the house blend from Crafted Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and I use clover honey, same as the last one. The difference was I caramelized a little bit of the honey.
That's
Yeah,
what it
so you're
was.
probably picking up on some
Yup.
of those, like
'Cause there was like a
marshmallowy.
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
crazy, like kind of like Queen's Crown has like a crazy
Yeah,
marshmallow.
yeah.
It's not as much as that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the difference.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I was
No,
tasting.
I'm glad you picked up on
It was
that.
like just a sweet kind of like a little bit of a touch of like it was like a sweet coffee.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I forgot to mention I put cocoa nibs in it too.
Ah,
yeah,
all right.
along with the coffee beans when I aged it. Yeah.
It tasted like I don't know, like a sweet coffee dessert, not like
Yeah,
like the
not
whole
crazy
can.
sweet,
I mean
yeah.
like the this
Yeah.
like hint of like a sweet coffee
Mhm.
type dessert, like a tiramisu or something like that.
Nice.
So it was really good, man.
Thanks.
And it throws people off when I tell them it's a coffee mead.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I bet.
I'm like, you gotta
Just
try it.
do
It's
it.
super subtle.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. It's like, is it gonna get me? Am I gonna get a buzz off of it or what? Like
yeah.
caffeine buzz? I'm like,
oh, not
well,
a caffeine buzz.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, not really. I mean, there's not a whole lot in
No,
there.
I mean, I wish that we did like
Probably.
got measurements and you got to send it to a lab and like
Yeah.
we'll send meads to Cornell Wine Labs. And I mean, whatever lab you send to, whether it's like Cornell Wine Labs or White Yeast, whatever it is, White Labs, they charge you a good amount for like getting tests done. So if you add up all these here and the batches we have, it would be a lot of money just to find out what like the sugars are, what the caffeine
Holy
is.
shit.
And it's kind
I
of
mean,
like
you don't really
we
need to do that.
No,
right?
it is kind of surprising though. Like this past fall. with all the events, I've gotten so many questions about like what the calorie content is, and like years before, I never really would get that. So I kind of think it has something to do with like maybe the hard seltzer thing, and everybody could see the nutritional value on that.
Yeah.
So
everybody's cutting carbs again.
Yeah.
And I mean, like if you have a super dry mead, you're totally fine drinking that on a keto diet. There's no sugar in it.
Yep.
But if you got caramelized sugars, then there's there's a certain. There's always going to be a shot of whiskey is like 70 calories, but there's no sugar, so it doesn't spike your blood sugar as much. I mean, if you have 10, it will.
Yeah. But it depends. It depends on the person. So I always say, I mean, something like with Cornerstone. There's residual sugars and there's a little bit of caffeine. It's not gonna. You're not gonna drink it in the morning to wake yourself up.
Yeah.
So
then get behind the wheel of the car.
Yeah, probably a bad idea. 7%. So.
Yeah. Well, so how do you figure out your alcohol percentages? Is it just based on your original sugar content versus how much is left at the end?
I will do that on limited batches. I mean, I do it on all batches, but there's actually some I do send to Cornell Wine Labs, and I could do just the alcohol content.
Yeah.
That's like like $30. They'll do that for whatever sample
cool.
you send. So that's not bad. Yeah, I'll do that. That's for like the main ones like Current Rose and Greenlit and Sweet Spot. But limited batches like these two, I don't see the need to do that because I'll just base it off of my measurements, hydrometer readings and, gravity. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I heard well, can we start drinking?
Yes.
Are we allowed to? I want to try. Now I want to drink the. Uh-oh.
Go.
Were you gonna guide me? Guide me. No. You were doing the.
Just.
All right. I wanted to drink the Cornerstone again, just because I want to.
Yeah,
now I want to I just want to get back that. I want to get that taste back.
You want to get that caffeine kick?
Yeah. I want to get fucking loaded on caffeine.
Yeah.
But so I heard you guys at least from your Instagram said you guys had big news coming.
We do.
Are we ready to announce that yet?
I can announce some of it. It's just not solidified yet. That's fine. I don't care. I'll drink some of that
dishwasher sand.
Let me just at least wipe it out.
This one's not that bad.
But anyway.
But yeah, so no, I am very excited about this. We're like 99% to the point where it's happening. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm not one of those people that's like real superstitious. So I could tell you everything about it.
So is this the first? Is this the first time anybody's hearing this kind of news?
Not anybody,
but like the public
on the radio waves. Yeah.
Holy Santa Claus shit!
It's a Dead Radio exclusive.
Oh shit! My favorite.
Yeah.
Adam was just like, you can't telegraph this enough.
It's just like you can see it coming from so far away.
Yep. I'm carrying the big banner. Anyway.
So, so basically what happened this year was kind of like all over the place. I was trying to really figure out what it is that we want to do other than going to events and festivals and marketing like crazy. That was the main goal for the first couple of years, is to just get the word out there and educate people about mead, and it's still ongoing. Then this past year I was deciding, do I want to get into the distribution game, or do we want to open up a tasting room to have people just come to us and do like the whole experience? Because, we kind of had like a pseudo tasting room where we are now, but not like, it's not set up or designed the way that it needs to be for that. So I went the distribution route for a little bit. It's my opinion that in New York, just distributors are not catching on quite yet to the session mead thing. So I really wasn't feeling it. Into the fall, I started to get inquiries from people like, hey, you've been in business for a couple of years. Do you want to open up a tasting room here? We got some, real estate here. So I started looking into different options. And then I came across one particular property that we're 99%, ready to sign the lease. So hopefully we'll have the news for that by the end of this month. I will tell you that it's in Poughkeepsie, in the city of Poughkeepsie. You will be able to walk to it from here.
Awesome.
I mean, Yeah, no. I mean, it depends on how adventurous you want to be. At least Uber.
What
I'll
about
say
a
that.
skateboard?
Skateboard for sure.
Yeah.
I've walked home from the Crafted Cup, and it takes me I think it took me like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I'm like
You'd be
hoofing it,
going
it's
the
like
other way.
14, 15 from here. So like 3 miles.
Okay.
Something like that you're talking about?
No, I'm trying to think about where it located.
You
to
can't
here.
you can't
But
say though.
No,
can
no.
you?
I'll-
we'll
no,
talk about
no,
it off air.
It's on Main Street. I'll tell you that.
Fucking A.
So
That's great,
yeah,
man.
so we're hopefully gonna hone in on that and make it happen. If it does, it will be probably April would be the most likely opening date, sometime in April. So the next few months, I'm just trying to gear towards that and build up tons of inventory, and we're gonna have on tap a variety of meads, not just the ones I brought tonight and the ones that you've had before. Just try to come out with all these different recipes and just showcase them as like flight tastings and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and
That's the cool thing.
It's great
about,
for R&D.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and you can make like a couple batches and see how it does, and people love it. You keep making it, that sort of thing. And if people don't really go for it, then you're done with it. So that's the cool thing about a tasting room. You can't, if you do distribution, you got to focus on a couple like these two here, and that's it. And just like, it's all about that game. And you can have some fun, but not as much as you can with a tasting room.
So it's going to be a tasting room you buy, and then you can drink. You can buy a bottle and drink
Yeah.
there, but you can't like you're not like pouring like.
Good question.
Yeah, I'm curious about how that works because you say tasting room, but you're not saying bar.
Right. I mean, that's part of the whole, marketing side of it. I don't want it to be a bar. I don't want to have a restaurant. Like I don't want that whole feel to it. Yeah. But you can have a full mead if you'd like while you're there. The main focus is, you could do, tasting flights. We'll obviously do some programming, figure out different types of events. We'll do special bottle releases. Those go really, they're pretty successful at different meaderies in the country. They'll do like a bottle release, kind of like, Hudson Valley Brewery. Like they'll do just like a limited batch and then do that on a Saturday, and release all that. So we'll do something like that. You could do full pours. We'll have guest taps most likely, like local cideries, local breweries maybe. We'll check it out, do something like that for the people that are a little, uncomfortable with meat at first.
We know a few.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's always, and I totally get it, but, it's a way for them to kind of get comfortable. If they come with like a group and they're not really feeling the whole meat thing because they haven't tried it yet, and, something like cider could really get them,
The funny thing funny thing between the mead and the cider thing, like I tell people that the green lit and drinks more like a cider. The current rose that we still have the bottles. I don't know if you're still going to be doing bottles of it.
Mainly
you got a can
mainly
there,
the cans. Yeah.
So like I tell people that drinks more like a light red wine,
right,
this and that. So,
Yeah.
but it throws people so much, and meanwhile they're like, "Oh, I'll have the cider," and I'm like, "All right, it's a good cider, but." For me, I can have one or two ciders, and then that's it. I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
these
I'm the
guys,
same way.
I can just whack these down, no problem. You
You
know, and
say that
I don't
to
get
customers?
heartburn. I don't like. Well, I tell them, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's cider can be acidic. This isn't acidic.
Yeah. Sometimes they can be, but
Wow,
compared
it's
to cider,
Oh, yeah.
nothing like it. Yeah.
The Revolution can bite me a little bit sometimes, but it's got the hops and blood orange
Right,
in
the
it.
blood
It's
orange
just like
will
it's
do
a
it.
little citrusy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I prefer drinking. I prefer drinking cans of mead. I wasn't
cider.
sure about it.
Yeah.
Because it was funny when you were started talking about session meads and everything like that. But mead's a wine. It's in a bottle of
we
it's a
get that a
bottle
lot.
of wine.
Yeah, it's all good.
I like this. This is I think this is a really cool take. It's
Thanks.
unique.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're not going to see. I don't know. I mean, I see something else right there. I'm not.
Oh yeah, this other thing it's part of this, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Sure, but the
yeah.
tap room thing, the tasting room thing for research and development. Dogfish Head Brewery.
Yeah.
They're a good example. They have their main facility, which is a giant fucking warehouse where they're brewing thousands and thousands of gallons of beer every day. But then they have the bar. Have you ever been
The
there?
original.
I've never been there, but I know about it. Yeah.
It's in Rehoboth.
They still have their original brew pub open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
don't
what-
brew there anymore.
Right,
But
right.
You know
What they
No, it's
do
cool.
do.
Yeah.
Do.
Do.
They bring in all their weird stuff and they basically just test it on their customers and they ask them what I think they had like note cards and stuff that
you
fill
could
out
give
too.
feedback.
They
Well,
also have aged stuff in fridges.
Okay.
So it's like
just
you can
break
get
it
a
out.
like a 2005 worldwide stout and a 2006 120 minute and mix them. This one guy bought like a beer. Did you see that guy?
I don't remember.
He made a black and
this
tan.
was like 14 years ago, Bosh.
Was it? Was it
It was a long fucking time
2005 was like that was.
Well, that would have been the
an
new
aged
one.
So I think you were right when you said 19.
Yeah,
it was probably 2007.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But
no, it's a cool concept.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
really neat.
Yeah. There are a lot of meaderies, like I was saying, that have that business model, and it's killing. Like a good example is Lost Cause in San Diego, Lost Cause Meadery. I know the owners, they're awesome, and they kill it. And they're actually opening up a second tasting room. That's how good they're doing.
Oh, great.
And they started, I mean, that's the scene in San Diego. They're like all about new stuff in the craft, beverage industry. There's a lot of that around here, but not compared to
I just think
Southern Cal.
it's one of those things where gluten-free is so important now.
Yeah.
That people are going to get sick of those fucking seltzers. They really, really are.
I'm sick of them.
I'm sick of them too. I left
I don't
5
even
of them
have
here
them.
last week.
Yeah.
I brought home PBRs and left those here.
Nice.
I have so many left over
Yeah.
from the party. I have a half a case upstairs. I got a full case there. And now you left me more. I
That's
can't
all
make
they're
a
good
dent,
for.
man.
Was it truly?
Yeah,
I like the White
The White
Claws
Claw?
better.
Yeah.
But they.
It's because they have like a tablespoon of salt.
I
in each
know
one of them.
it's so
Yeah.
much better. But like they don't. If I have too many of them, I can have like 2 or 3, and then if I start having more, I start getting a fucking screaming headache.
Yeah, it's because
it's
of
a
the
lot of
salt.
I
sugar.
start getting migraines.
It's the
and shit.
salt. That's
salt.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So they have, I forget how much it is, but it's 3 times as much as all the other ones.
Yeah.
So these are Trulies.
You're truly
Sodium's
delicious.
5 milligrams, which is 1% of your total salt for the day.
Okay.
I think the White Claws are like 20. It's at least 10.
Yeah.
Are there any in the fridge? Because there might be.
They're
Okay.
just Trulies in here.
Fuck. Yeah, I got them
But
upstairs.
I think
We'll look on the
they're
break.
10 or 20 grams per
always look it up here.
per serving. So you're seriously talking about. I mean, that's not a tablespoon of salt, but if you have 12 of them, that's 4 tablespoons of salt probably.
Yeah. No, I mean, the good thing about session meat is that it is comparable to a hard seltzer. The cool thing about it is we're not using cane sugar. We're using honey instead. So that kind of gets anybody that's on the hard seltzer wagon to kind of jump on the meat ship. So I could see that in Southern Cal, people doing that for that reason.
Yeah, it's also a lot more environmentally sustainable because you're sourcing mostly New York honey, right?
Yeah, a straight up 100% New York honey.
You kind of have to, right? Is it? You have
we don't have to, but we still have yet to get the farm meadery license. We'll, it's kind of been held up because of this plan to move the tasting room and the location. So when that happens, we'll be getting the farm meadery.
But once you get the farm meadery license,
Yeah.
you can serve any farm.
Yeah, farm
beer,
cidery,
winery.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, so you could get like Millbrook stuff in there for a wine option. You could do anybody around here, Kings Court, Cousins Ale Works, all those guys.
We'd be more than happy to. Yeah.
That's cool. I love that they did that because Kings Court, the only reason that they did the farm license, like they already had a full regular brewery license, and they went and got the farm license just so they could have wine because they were tired. They had the. Have you ever had their Weeby?
Oh yeah. It's great.
It's mead with just a tiny little bit of grain in there so that it makes it
legal. Yeah.
And
it
he was
really
just
good.
He was like, it's just too expensive to make.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, they weren't losing money, but he's like, it's an $8 pour, and I'm not making anything off of it.
Right.
Because they weren't doing the volume; they would do one batch at a time.
Yeah.
So they're probably not going to make that anymore. Now that they have wine.
Yeah, but it makes sense because they're focused on beer cost, and beer prices. So when you try to throw something like that in there, it can throw it all off. Yeah, for sure. So that's cool. You could just like get a cider or a wine on tap, something like that.
Just to have some options.
And that's the plan.
You were right. 20 milligrams.
20 milligrams. So that's 4%. of your daily intake. So if you have 10 of those, that's 40% of your daily intake of salt.
I think you'd be concerned about other things than just the salt.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I can have
probably drink 10 of those in like
in 4 hours. You could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a whole 12-pack of Trulies in one night and not been drunk at all.
Yeah. And
yeah, I mean, over like 6 hours.
Yeah. Are they 4%? What is
like 4 or 5%?
Yeah.
Real low.
Yeah. It's funny that that's real low, whereas the standard was 3.5% in like the 90s.
Yeah, I know.
True.
Everything. Yeah. You get fucking
the craft beer boom blew that right out of the fucking.
Everybody, you get fucking Natural Light Ice or whatever, or fucking Bud Ice.
Yep.
And that was like 6%, and that's like crazy.
Speaking of Bud, Anheuser-Busch came out. Well, first of all, they came out with that commercial, right? Do you guys know about that commercial? It's a Bud Light commercial with Dilly Dilly.
Yeah.
So they're making fun of mead and mead drinkers.
Or
just like craft beverage people in general.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so they make fun of that. And this is very typical of like, InBev or Anheuser-Busch. They actually came out probably like half a year after those commercials. They came out with a session mead. So the thing is, no,
Budweiser session mead.
Yeah, but they don't call it that. They call it. This is very sexy. They call it honey, water and honey alcohol beverage, something to that effect. It is ridiculous, and it's like takes up the whole side of the can. It's called B beverage, like a little B, and a period beverage. And we know that it's InBev because it's produced in Baldwinsville, which is where the, in New York, which is where the Anheuser-Busch facility is. But then they came out, and it's like clear that it's part of their portfolio. And it's like 3.5% ABV.
What a bunch of douchebags.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It drives, and now their whole campaign now is that they don't add corn syrup to their beer.
Yeah.
Which almost no one does.
Right.
I mean, Miller does it, but only in... I think it's in the genuine draft or something. Like it's only in one.
Right, to give it that like amber look.
Yeah,
probably,
and they were just trying to and then they have this campaign where it's just like 4 ingredients: hops, barley, water, and rice.
Rice. Yeah.
It's like rice. No, it's not rice. It's sorghum. You're adding sorghum. You're adding processed rice sugar that's coming from China.
Yep.
I would rather have corn syrup that's made in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
I would much rather have that.
Yeah, it's all about spinning
because
the words, right?
Who the fuck knows what China's doing with that stuff?
Yeah.
Who knows what chemical process they're using?
Yeah, there it is.
Honey alcohol beverage.
Yeah, that's it. So,
wow.
Honey, water, and cherry.
They're testing the market, I guess.
Blueberry.
Yeah, blueberry.
Fuck blueberry.
I think blueberry.
I mean, I was going to say, I'll probably make a blueberry.
It's a standalone fruit, but what I'm saying, like blueberry flavor and stuff, I fucking hate.
Yeah, because you know it's flavor. Yeah.
It's gross.
By the way, this was great. I like it better.
Thank you.
I like it better than the original.
Thank
you.
Yeah,
The cocoa nibs.
Yeah.
You could really smell it.
Yeah, after like you know that, and then that's what you're looking for. Yeah. Yeah, especially
I would say I do like a drier mead for the most part, but I would enjoy having 1 or 2 of these, and then going back to like something drier
Greenlit or whatever.
Yeah.
No, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot smoother since I first packaged it too, so that's a nice sign. That's always good. Yeah.
So with this one, you aged it over coffee beans and cocoa nibs, and it's just straight just coffee beans, right?
Yeah,
You're not crushing them. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, no crushing. I did crush the cocoa nibs. You get a lot more flavor that way.
Yeah.
For both of them, roasted both. And
sorry,
what happened? What are you doing?
I fucked something up.
No, you're just making me self-conscious of how I sound.
Are we still recording?
All right, we're back.
Were we not recording?
I just no. We were recording. It just all of a sudden shut off, and then I restarted.
That's weird.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Shit. Cocoa nibs.
Yeah.
Crushing.
So I'll crush the cocoa nibs. Coffee beans are whole, but I'll roast both of them a little more. The coffee beans are already roasted, but I'll roast it a little more. And then add it into an already fermented out batch. Let it age for, honestly, it's like 3 to 4 days. You don't need a lot, and you'll get that flavor. I mean, I probably could do it more, and it would really hit you in the face, but I guess that's just something I don't want to do. Like, I just
It'd
want
be
that
too
little,
much.
Yeah, that's my opinion at least. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So, yeah, I enjoy making that one. Yeah, like I said, for the difference between this one and the first, that caramelization of the honey really like changes the profile completely. I love doing that.
It just you get more of that coffee flavor, and it pops a little bit better.
Yeah,
And like I said, it's got this kind of like warm dessert kind of flavor. Like
Yeah, it'll do that when you toast up honey and for a mead. That aftertaste really lingers, and it's just it's a cool experience. I enjoy it, making it and drinking it. Yeah. You ready for another one?
Yeah, I'm ready. What do we want to do here?
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Now, is the current rose, is that carbonated now too?
It is carbonated, slightly. Yeah, it actually adds a really nice body
see,
to it.
I haven't had it like
let's go
that,
with
so let me get that.
Totally.
So, yeah. But, boop.
So while you're pouring that, I'm also drinking my birthday present.
Oh, yes.
Oh, happy birthday.
Imported Sensei whiskey.
Nice.
It's from Japan. And it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I was was drinking. I went to Canada and I had some Japanese. I went to it was like a whiskey / coffee shop, and they were open at like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or was it 8? It was early. It was fucking really early.
Right.
So we rolled in, and I was like, "Hey, I want a cup of coffee, but do you serve alcohol at this time?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like,
no,
right on. Oh, no, it wasn't in Canada. It was in Providence, Rhode Island. It was called, I want to say it was Dark Horse. Nah, it doesn't matter. But I had some Japanese whiskey while I was there, and it was so, like, weird and unique and everything. And I always get him a bottle of something, for his birthday.
Right.
And it's, I had one in my hand, and then I kind of was, like, on my way out, and that caught my eye. I was like, fuck, I bet you he hasn't even had Japanese whiskey before. So
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Wow.
yeah. So I think it was a good pull. It tastes
Yeah.
good. It's weird. It's like not quite a bourbon and not quite an Irish whiskey.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah, I can see
strange
that.
because there's no there's no peat taste like a Scotch.
Yeah, it's not smoky.
But
yeah.
it's
New Harvest Coffee and Spirits.
Yes, New Harvest.
Yeah.
That's them. Tiny little like hole in the wall
Yeah.
place. It's
Yeah.
really small.
In Providence?
In Providence, yeah.
They have, this
They
is
have ridiculous
the
amounts.
top 10 whiskey bars in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So they have more than 10.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
That's a reason to go to Providence, I
Yeah,
guess.
I guess. Haven't
It
been
wa-
there in a long time.
Well, I mean, it's scary. Like Providence is weird. It's like almost like it's like half a ghost town.
Yeah.
Because like certain sections are bustling, and then certain sections there's just
Yeah.
it's just
Like in the middle of the day, sort of.
nothing's going on.
Yeah.
And I ended up finding out from some of the locals that the corruption in the state government runs so deep.
Yeah.
Because it's incestuous was the word that they used. I was like,
Well then.
fucking Jesus. So it's just like everybody,
Game of Thrones shit.
not like that, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know.
everybody helping everybody. And it's gotten
Right.
so out of hand that it's gotten so bad that it just, shit's so fucked up there.
Yeah.
Property values suck and
Yeah.
like there's no jobs. So everybody's
Jeez.
just getting out, man. There's a lot of empty storefronts in Providence, even though
that's
it's a
nice.
beautiful city.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's like a walking,
Just
you
an
can walk
empty
around.
city.
But
Never been.
yeah. It's a fun. You don't like the beach, so you
Yeah,
shouldn't go to
so why
Rhode
would I
Island.
go there?
Probably better.
You're
Yeah.
surrounded by beach
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good point.
but here we go.
All right, cheers.
Mazel tov.
I already had some.
How dare you? So
Ooh.
you'll see it's just like Current Rose 1.0.
Yeah.
This is just it's 6.5%. The other one's 10%,
Mm-hmm.
and that was already very drinkable and crushable. This becomes even more crushable, and with that carbonation, it's just like adds a nice body to it, like a little more mouthfeel. And that was like originally what I wanted to do with it, and we went down the path of like kind of winey look to the bottle
Yeah.
and everything. So kind of going back to what the original plan was.
So no more bottles of Current Rose.
I want to say no, but
We
know,
got
who
some.
knows? Yeah, you guys got them.
I think we got a bunch. We got
Yeah.
a couple, not many. But,
Yeah. Right now, it's very limited in inventory of like bottled Current Rose. But I say that when I open up the tasting room, maybe I'll have a line of that.
It might be cool to do more like the original kind of wine type versions
Yeah.
too. So you have a 10% option.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. Yeah. I don't plan on just doing 6.5% or like session meads the whole way.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do some that are up there like 13%, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the traditional style mead.
This is good. I really like this. Like
Nice.
this
Yeah.
is, you know, I
very
was a
refreshing.
fan of Current Rose anyway, but it's like it's
It's
a real like
you can
this is a
have a
good
lot.
like this is a good like spring drink, I guess. I would say.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, honestly, even wintertime, because it has kind of that warming quality to it from the black currants.
I would like to make my holiday sangria with this.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was good.
We drank 3 gallons of that.
Yeah, I know. I drank a lot.
Yeah, I had a holiday party.
Yeah.
And I made 3 gallons of sangria, which is just alcohol mixed with alcohol with some apple cider in it.
Yeah.
And I put it in a 3-gallon corny keg and put it on tap. And then the next day I was like, it's on my back porch.
Yeah.
And we had the wood stove going out there, but it's not going all the time, so I didn't want it to freeze.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to empty the keg, and I got a half liter out of it. So, yeah, like 20-something people drank 3 gallons of sangria.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
this
awesome.
is. But the other thing was, it was so easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in the fridge. You don't have to get grab something. You just walk. You just walk your stupid ass up to his kegerator and just pull the fucking handle, and you got booze.
Yeah, I
Sangria.
carbonated it too.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was
that's
really
sweet.
good.
yeah, I think the carbonation put it over the top.
Yeah.
But I just used, I don't know, I used like 1 bottle of crappy red wine and 2 bottles of like decent red wine, and the crappy red wine was to make it sweeter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would do a smaller batch and I wouldn't give it out if I were to use this.
No, it would blend really well as a sangria for sure. What's cool about this is one of those no residual sugar meads. Like it has a little sweetness, like sort of appearance, but it's completely fermented out.
Really?
Yeah. That's it. Must
That's
be
crazy.
Must
It's
be the
actually
black
like-
currants
it's
or
not
something.
like- Yeah, it's not like a strong sweetness, but there is I can
I mean,
taste a definite
maybe
sweetness to
there's
it.
like a hint of sugar still left, but in terms of fermentation, it was fermented, completely dry. So, and then it just aged to the point, add some carbonation into it. It brings out that body and fullness to it. So it appears like it's sweet.
I just like kind of rolled it around on my tongue,
yeah.
and that's not like sugar. There was no like sugar sweetness to it. It just has the appearance of sweet. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good though.
Have you guys ever thought about doing like sixtels, like regular kegs?
Yeah, no, we do actually right now. Yeah,
like
we don't have a lot.
Not corny style, like a regular
they're
keg.
not corny. Yeah, actually, I think right now we have 20 sixtel kegs in inventory.
Yeah, because I bet you I
yeah.
could convince them to put this on tap at the restaurant.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because that was the only thing that was holding it back was we didn't want to do cans, and they are not set up for corny kegs.
What's
and I was
a corny
like,
keg?
It's got the two pop tops.
The ones that we use.
Yeah.
And
like
then
the
cold brew
kegs.
setup
Right,
is corny, and the Sankey is the beer.
Is beer keg.
So that's the twist out one.
Yeah, right.
So you're set up for corny.
No, we're set up for the Sankey style.
Sankey, okay.
Yeah,
but
we've had it for a while. It's
we
just,
used to get that
limited.
3-gallon keg from them.
Yeah.
That's corny style. Those are based. They're making them now again, but home brewers use them because it's much easier just to pop the top off and fill it.
Yeah,
but
easier
when
to clean.
When Pepsi went from like Pepsi, Coke, all of those, you used to get kegs of syrup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when they got rid of all of that, they just sent them all to scrapyards for recycling, and then they became in demand. And scrapyards figured out, well, I could get 6 cents for the stainless steel, or I can get $40 for it on eBay.
Yeah,
right.
And then it just became this whole market just for these things, just
That's
for
so
home
great.
brewers.
Is that why they all look like they're fucking? They've been
25 years old?
Yeah,
like
all of our kegs look like they got rolled down a fucking hill.
Because half those kegs were for my dad.
Oh,
Tanner
shit.
bought 2 new ones, and I sold him 4 old ones.
Well, he got another couple new ones.
Yeah.
But I was like, where the fuck did you find these?
At the junkyard.
Yeah. So,
shit.
But I mean,
That's funny.
a lot of people are still going back to those now that they're making them new because honestly, they're just better.
Yeah.
They're just much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're easier to work with.
They're easier to work
Yeah,
with.
I agree.
They leak less, and you can fix them yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If something breaks, you order the valve on Amazon or go to
Right.
fucking any brew distributing place.
Right.
And
You
it's just a coupler. Just
Yeah.
Yep.
Little quick connect, and it's because you can change out all those parts. Whereas with like a regular, like once that thing's broken, it's like I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, corny keg, you mean?
No, the Sankey style.
Sankey. Yeah.
But it's still the industry standard, so it's good that you're doing it.
Oh yeah, I know. We've had them since we started. It's just it was so limited. But a few bars here and there have them, like Tavern 23.
Yeah,
they have it on tap. Greenlit. I've done it. Brought it to Shotzi's a few times. So like I said, we have like 20 of them. We'll probably get some more for the tasting room. So that's where they'll be focused. But yeah. I'm always,
cool. Well, I'll talk
down.
to the boss because I mean, we convinced him to do some different stuff. Like we've got some sours on here and there, and they're actually selling.
Yeah,
which surprised the hell out of me with our clientele.
Yeah.
So something like this would definitely sell. Like anybody who's going to drink a Millbrook Rosé would love this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, that's the good thing about putting something like this on tap because they can just pour a tiny bit to have them taste it.
Yeah,
a can, you can't really do that. And I'm sure like you experienced that at Craft and Cup, with green lit.
They're like, can we taste it?
You can't
We're
taste it. Yeah,
no.
Unless you want to crack one open every day as a sampler, you're not going to do that. So
I mean, I would do it and just drink it at the end of the show.
I mean, that thought just like it just passed through my head. I'm like, why don't I just fucking drink them?
Yeah, you could do that. Didn't come from me, but
we get one shift. We get one shift drink when we're doing open mic, and I usually reach for you guys.
A little greeny.
Nice. A little greenlit.
Is that what you want right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So
we gotta make sure we save some.
Not to sound like shitty or anything, but this has got to be a higher profit margin for you too. Right?
You do sound shitty. No, it's
sound like a piece of shit.
Yeah, what a. What do you mean? Which one?
Well, because being that it's a lower alcohol percentage, you're getting farther with your ingredients. But then it's also, I guess, going into
drop the price on them though.
No,
that would be that's a logical thought, to go with session meads because of that. But honestly, larger bottles of mead, like the 750 milliliter bottles that we used to have, the 500 milliliter bottles that we have now, and the higher alcohol content, the profit margin is actually better on those.
Yeah.
When you're talking direct to customer.
Okay.
So. When you do session meads, though, this is another thing that really kind of had me just put the kibosh on distribution. The profit margins are like
nothing.
You can't even see it, like especially with canned mead because it's just you're thinking beer or cider prices, and that shouldn't be the case. So it's
people don't realize how cheap beer is to make.
It really is. Yeah,
which is why we really appreciated you donating some mead to Creator Fest because we had the conversation. I had that conversation with Doc's Draft Cider, and I was like, "We'll put your thing on the banner," and he's like, "Oh, for a sixtel? Yeah, we'll do that." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense because you're really only donating $73 worth of products."
Yeah,
and he's like, "That's exactly the retail price or exactly the wholesale price." I was like, "Well, we've bought it. I've seen the invoice."
Right.
And he's like,
scared the shit out of him.
And then
Holy
I said
shit,
to him, I
I'm
was
talking
like,
to Rain Man.
Yeah, you need to go on Price is Right.
Yeah. So then I was just like, but realistically, that cost you what? $8 to make?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, especially cider.
Cider. It's just fucking apple juice.
Yep. Yeah,
that somebody else is making anyway.
Yep. That's the truth. Yeah.
You just buy it in big 55-gallon drums and ferment it.
Yep. Yeah, that's it was interesting when I went to Angry Orchard last year or 2 years ago. They have tons of cider from other orchards, like all over the place.
Yeah.
And they source a lot of their cider from the same cider producer that we get from for the apple one.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But
yeah. Well, even Bad Seed was saying that he's like, one apple orchard can't sustain this.
No, especially distribution.
Yeah, he was like, even if we took every drop of, if they closed the apple picking and we squeezed every single one of them and we took every single drop and they sold nothing but directly to us, it would only cover 50% of what they need.
Yeah, I believe it.
So it's coming from like big commercial operations, still New York.
Yeah, which is good. But
the only thing that I what I found out was maybe it was when we had Queen City Distilling Company on how hard it is to make grow organic apples.
Right.
Yeah.
So sure they're cleaned and everything, but every apple that you eat is just sprayed with horrible pesticides.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Those are really cool people.
Yeah.
Queen City.
Yeah, we had a good time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pop in once in a while into the into the shop. What was his name for the show? Ralph? Wayne?
I don't remember.
Can't remember.
There was the guy we were calling Heisenberg because he couldn't be on camera.
Yeah, that was yeah. I can't remember.
He sat out there.
He's not allowed to be on camera.
I can't say what he does, but
that's fine.
his job he would get fired for being on this show.
Interesting.
So
he's not giving it. He's a teacher.
That's
not saying where he is,
Gotcha.
but he can't
he
be on
was-
a show like
he
that.
had
In
like
case students saw it. Or
at
whatever.
first he had his sunglasses on and his hoodie up with like zipped
that's
shut.
awesome.
And then he was like, "How about I just sit behind the curtain?" I'm like, "You can do whatever you want, man. This is gonna be fun."
And he talked.
So
about
at one point, like we're all just sitting there. He's talking about the business and everything, and we're all just sitting here, and we're all just
And nobody's-
But we're all staring this at here. We're
At
not
the
looking
penis?
over there because it's in our headphones and no one's there. So we're all just like this,
Yeah.
listening to him.
But if we didn't do that, we would have had obviously we would have had to take the dick off the table.
Yeah.
There could have been no cursing and no drinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, but don't they know that you're part of this distillery thing?
Right,
well, yeah,
right.
that's fine. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
This show's not going to work if we can't drink and curse.
Yeah.
And have a penis on the table. I mean, come on.
Who are we? NPR.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
we didn't play this yet.
Oh boy.
That's
What are you drinking?
just we'd be remiss for not playing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So which one do we have now?
This one's
is the
greenlit.
Greenlit.
And it's interesting, coming from the other ones to this, you could see how dry it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This tastes like a prosecco to me right now.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
say, especially because it is a little more carbonated than that black currant one.
Yeah, it's got the very, very fine bubbles.
Yeah, I like it.
This would be cool if you did one that was like 13% and put it in a champagne bottle.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Like get it super carbed.
Yep.
Just do the what is it called? Where you add sugar later and it.
Yeah, the champagne style in the bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Yeah. No, I'll do
You just
that.
did like a special edition.
Yeah, do like 50 bottles worth for a
Yeah.
limited batch. Yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
It'd be green, really lit.
Really, really.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
This one I could drink all day.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Thanks.
so good.
Yeah.
And why is the carbonation
More?
Is it just
Because I feel like it? No. This particular batch of Greenlit, I force carbed both of them, or any of the session meads are force carbed, but that one was a little more than the other ones.
Okay.
And that wasn't intentional. It was just one of those things like a little overcarbonated.
Oh.
And so
I kind of like it though.
yeah, no, I mean I might do it for all of them, but I probably shouldn't have said that because not that the TTB is listening, but the federal agency that regulates all of this, they could technically potentially tax me more for having a higher carbonation level. And the only way that they can test that is, other than me just saying it, is by using a zomometer. It's a zom. It's a type of tool that tests the amount of carbonation, the volume of carbonation in a beverage. So if you're over 2 volumes of carbonation with wine products, because this is technically wine federally speaking, the TTB can tax you what's considered, I don't think it's like actually called this, but that's what people call it, the effervescence tax. So the
That's
more,
fucking stupid.
I know, if you've seen these forms, it's
is
crazy.
there
I
a
just
reason
did-
behind that?
The government wants money. And
No, I mean like
no,
like,
it's just it makes no sense logistically. I mean, it's the same product. It's just carbonation was used in it. So if you're under 2 volumes, you're gonna have something more like this. That's like a little fizzy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy carbonated, but this is definitely over 2
So that would
volumes.
be just double So you're like volumes of air, so 14.7
Yeah,
PSI
I know. Yeah,
or
my
whatever.
guess is probably like, well, the PSI, definitely like around that level, but like the actual volume of carbonation in the liquid, that's
Oh,
probably
so you're talking about like the physical volume of gas that's
That's
forced
in
into
it.
the can.
Right,
Okay.
right. That's So it's probably like at 5 or something like that, and this is probably like 1 point something. So not to get crazy scientific. and
But if you
technical.
were to bottle condition it, which is what I was trying to think of before,
that would be over the 2, and I'd be charged. Like
you'd be charged for that.
I would be,
Even though it's just yeast and sugar making CO2, which is a
Pretty
byproduct
much.
of fermentation.
Yeah, they actually have separate columns on the tax forms. I just completed it for the year. They have like natural sparkling wine. Then they have a column for artificial carbonation, like forced carbonation, like these, like where you're pumping gas into it. And then they have like still and then fortify, all these different columns. And then each column has the multiplier at the bottom of what you're taxed. So like let's say you have 500 gallons of sparkling mead for the year. You times it by a certain number, and that's your tax, and it's going to be more than like a still wine. So yeah,
That's really stupid.
It's all about money. That's what it comes down to. They just want to charge people.
Do they
more.
charge you like ABV and stuff like that? Like if it's higher alcohol content?
Yeah,
you pay more?
that's If you're between 7 and 14%, it's a certain level. If you're fortifying the meads, which it's like over 18%, they're going to charge you more. So, yeah, it's silly, but you gotta play the game. So it's not like a small organization or a company like mine will get attacked by the TTB, because they know if they did that and find me, I'd be out of business. So they're gonna go after the bigger companies, and obviously they probably do that with like InBev all the time and all these other companies and big wineries and stuff. So it's pretty crazy.
I'm trying to figure
Oddly
out.
enough, this pairs really well.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
The whiskey and the
call.
jasmine. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to find it online?
I was like curious if there was like effervescent, if there was any
Effervescent tax?
effervescent tax, or
Yeah.
the TTB. The TTB came up, but it's like
you don't.
I gotta dig through a bunch of shit to actually figure out.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
and they
red
probably do that on purpose just to make it
Mhm.
so that you don't figure out that they're just fucking you.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, if you type in TTB excise tax form, you'll probably find the form on there.
It's so
it's
weird.
crazy.
So what I really want to do with this now is I want to do a whiskey champagne cocktail. You ever done the bitters with the sugar cube, whiskey, and then Prosecco?
No.
You never done that?
Nope.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like a
Sounds good.
type of champagne cocktail.
To get you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly would.
But yeah, you do sugar cube at the bottom, and then you dash bitters on it. You let it dissolve a little bit, and then you muddle it in the bottom, and then like 1 ounce whiskey, and then to the top with champagne Prosecco.
Woo.
And then you drink it.
Yeah.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
With this. Yeah.
Sounds
I
really
like
good. You guys want to take a break and come back real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Oh boy, I don't have something.
Oh God.
I'm never like perfect. I always just fuck up like one thing.
Were we not recording this whole time?
Yeah, we haven't been recording at all.
All right. It was a nice conversation with you guys.
I always at least fuck up one thing. Yeah, so if anybody's interested,
This is not a mundane detail, Michael.
spmeadery.com, Slate Point Meadery. It's at SP Meadery on Instagram. Check them out. You can order all their stuff online and follow them on Instagram, because I'm sure you're going to have news on
Lots of
there
news.
about the tasting room and
That's
all
right.
that nonsense.
Oh yeah.
So,
All that
is it nonsense?
It is nonsense. Good nonsense.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break as soon as my computer starts to... There we go. So, one of my favorites. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We got a couple more meads, and I want to show you guys something I found online. It made me laugh so hard. It might not translate. I don't know. Plus, how would you like to know your favorite Hudson Valley restaurant's food inspection score?
Sure.
I would love that.
All right.
Sounds
Start
good.
coming up with some ones you want to look up.
You got it.
Someday it'll be behind us, and we'll look back again, and we'll cheer. Someday it'll be just us, 'cause I know someday persevere. Fall again, that's okay. Remember that tomorrow we'll be there to try again. I'll bury my apples with you in the sea. But one day we'll look out from our tree. Someday no one will find us, and we'll pack our fruit and then we'll disappear. Someday they'll all miss us, 'cause I know someday you'll persevere. Fall again, that's okay. Remember that tomorrow we'll be there to try again. I'll bury my apples with you in the sea. One day we'll look out from our tree. Someday it'll be just us, 'cause I know someday persevere.
Brimstone got a certain spell. Hi, I'm Andy Reid from Catskill Cabin Conversations on WGXE 90.7 FM. You're listening to Dead Radio Podcast. Enjoy. Do not fear.
All right. Talking some inside baseball on the break. Here with Eric from Slate Point Meadery.
Hello.
spmeadery.com. At spmeadery on the Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be opening a tasting room very soon in Poughkeepsie.
Yes.
In a undisclosed location at the moment.
Yes, in Poughkeepsie. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
No, watch us on Instagram, Facebook. Just follow us. We'll be posting a lot of news on it.
So
very, very exciting stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to dive in to whatever that. See,
The blank one?
When the blank cans show up,
I love bringing the blank ones for you.
gives me
he
an
wants to play the fucking bumper
it
again.
gives me an excitement in my belly. And you're not the only one who's brought blank cans here.
Oh, yeah.
I love that shit. It's
Yeah.
my favorite. And it's not just for the bumper.
What if I said it was just like beer? Like, you son of a bitch.
It's actually a hard cider.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we're gonna start making hard ciders.
Yeah, no, not anytime soon. I'll leave that to the hard cider professionals.
So
this it's not a fully blank can. It has Sharpie on it with my terrible handwriting.
Does that say mushroom?
No, it's not
Oh,
mushroom.
okay.
I do know of a
I was like-
mushroom mead though, and it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, mushroom cap.
Yeah, I've heard there was some company that was putting lion's mane in a mead.
Jeez.
But it was like a kombucha mead or something fucking weird.
Yeah, that's known as
Yeah.
June.
Yuck.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it had.
kombucha
But I
with
can't
honey.
try it because I'm allergic to mushrooms. So,
all right.
but lion's mane is supposedly really good for inflammation. So,
Wow.
Anyway,
You
it's
know,
not
the more you
that.
know. There is no mushroom in this. At least I don't think.
All right. Before we get into this, I fucking hate kombucha.
There's some good
I have
ones.
a
I
problem with it too,
fucking hate it. I haven't had a single one that I liked. It's so
Really?
gross. It's just fucking sweet vinegar. It's disgusting.
There's a blueberry one that you can get at Adams. It's really good.
It's I know.
Yeah.
The wife is tried
Just
to poison
pushing
me
it.
with that
Yeah.
shit too. I fucking hate it. I can't stand. I do not understand the appeal. We started carrying Laughing Gut
Yeah,
kombucha.
Laughing Gut. Yeah.
So
I like the green tea one from them.
yeah,
Nice.
everybody
Yeah.
likes them a lot, but somebody.
It's just not your thing. That's all.
Oh man,
It's all
somebody
good.
opened one, and I was like,
You got very angry.
It smells like baby vomit.
"No, ma'am, I'm good."
But it helps with your stomach.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't care. So
Well,
what do you got there?
This is kombucha. No, I'm just kidding. So, this is a peach mead.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this is it says Mouchad mead, which
Mouchad.
like somebody that's Italian might know what that is. Yeah. This is kind of this was born. This idea of making a peach mead was born at my day job. An older gentleman that I work with would bring in tons of peaches during the summer, and nobody was eating them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. all right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the office was kind of like, we need to do something with this.
I had a neighbor growing up that had
Yeah.
a peach tree, and the fucker could not give them away.
Yeah.
Fast enough.
Yeah,
Anyway.
because it just is so much.
Yeah.
So basically what I did was I took 30 peaches. This is a 10-gallon batch that I made.
All right.
So very, very limited. And honestly, I didn't put it up for sale or anything. It was just for fun. Clover honey, 30 peaches that I pitted and skinned and, threw in the batch. You don't get tons of peach up front, but the more you sip on it, the more it starts to just taste like juicy peach. But
Like
I would say,
peaches?
yeah, more like a white wine than anything.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
This should also be sparkling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is not. Yeah, but I should do that.
Yeah. If
I'll
you were to
definitely make more of
revisit it, especially for
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the tasting room, that'd be awesome. Yeah, something a little sparkly.
I can really taste the peaches.
Yeah. It's just that, like,
It's just a hint.
if you didn't know it was made with peaches, you might like be kind of like something's going on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. There's something in there. There's a fruit in there that I'm not sure of. But yeah, this is excellent. I like this a lot.
Thanks. Yeah, nice and clean.
Yeah. Where'd you get the peaches from?
It was
just explain the whole thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I was too busy.
No, the my older
Oh,
coworker.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't know where he got the
my
peaches
fucking
from.
brain disconnected that. I'm sorry.
Well, you also probably couldn't sell them if he grew them in his fucking yard or whatever.
No, you probably could, but I don't know. I wasn't comfortable doing it. I'd probably just get some, peaches that I knew exactly where they came from, and I could tell people where like this. I don't know where he got them from. So
my mom has got a peach tree too. No, I'm just remembering that she makes like barbecue sauce and all kinds of.
Yeah,
stuff.
she makes she made like a peach chutney.
Yeah. Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Peach is good. Yeah, it's a good flavor.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was just thinking before about when we went to Dogfish Head and they had the Festina de Peche.
Oh,
but we got to try it like a year before it came out.
Oh, nice.
It was
so
like
good.
not branded or anything at that
We drank
point.
the shit out of that.
Yeah.
We got I think we got a full case of that, or no? Could we? No, we can only get 22s of it. I think, or something.
Because it wasn't even out yet. You can only get it at the brewery.
That was so good.
That sounds good.
And now you could just get it at halftime for way too much money.
Nice.
Yeah. This is good, man. It's subtle.
Oh yeah, I
like
forgot
it.
to mention. I used mainly clover honey, but I did put creamed honey in it, just a tiny bit. And cream.
Fuck is cream honey?
No, it sounds bad. No, it's actually very delicious. But you like apiaries can only produce so much of it. It's just I probably shouldn't mention it because I don't know the whole details about it, but it's like a creamy type of honey, basically. I did that, and mainly because I got a nice sample size of it from an apiary in New York, and I was like, I need to do something with it, so why not put it into peaches type mead?
Is it like
cream and
more
peaches.
like it's not? Is it? It's not. Is it liquidy?
It's
or
not
is it,
liquidy.
It's like
yeah,
paste,
it's
or-
like sort of like pasty kind of, but like it's not like a cream.
like a gooey caramel.
Kind of gooey, yeah, and it does have that sort of characteristic, like it's caramelized, but not really. Yeah, it's hard to describe. I'm sure. I don't know if you're. Pulling it up
so
now.
it's.
Yeah, I don't know the whole science behind it, so
It's just
Bottles
honey
are
that
used
was.
to stir the honey.
I think it's
So it's they it looks like they aerate it with heat.
Oh right, okay.
So it's
Oh my God!
yeah,
They
so
steam
it's
it like a latte.
no, so creamed honey it's a processed honey that controls crystallization, so it never hardens.
Yeah, it never hardens. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
So it's probably very expensive to produce,
It's
which
sous
is why
vide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't really
it's
find.
always
a lot of
lighter colored than liquid honey of the same floral type. Production methods. Patented by-
I just
know
pictured
it
you
takes-
pouring honey in a like
An
a
espresso.
KitchenAid like stand mixer and just like
Just- yeah.
wait for
With
stiff
some milk.
for stiff peaks.
Yeah.
It's just honey with milk in
there's
it.
not a ton of information about it.
No.
But
Really?
it looks like they aerate it and heat it up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's
And
so
it's
interesting.
probably it's so it's intermittently stir the honey while the temperature is kept between 55 and 70 degrees. So it's not heated up, but it's temperature controlled.
Right.
And then for approximately 80 hours.
What?
Stays creamy consistently indefinitely if stored at 65 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is why there's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's probably 10
Holy
times the price.
shit.
right. Oh yeah.
It takes
it's
80
pretty
hours to make
expensive.
it.
What was the
Yeah.
flavor like? Was it
It's
much
delicious.
different from honey? Or?
It's a little different from like I don't know. I think he used like a wildflower honey for that, but
But it's got to be
Yeah, I
great for
don't know how to
fermentation
describe it.
because what that's doing is it's aerating it. That's part of it, and it's also breaking down the bonds of the sugars. Because like you know when you make simple syrup, put it in hot water, shake it or stir it, you're breaking down those crystals into much simpler sugars, and that's what this is doing.
Oh,
I
that's
assume.
interesting.
just what I
No,
know
that
in
makes
general.
sense.
So I
Yeah.
bet you it's very fermentable compared to regular honey.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I used I would say 20% of the honey was creamed honey, and then the rest was clover honey, and then a little bit of cinnamon infused honey. So you probably don't pick up tons of that cinnamon, but I just figured throw it in there. I get samples of honey all the time, which is awesome. But sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do with this because it
Shit,
could
man.
be so we end up having a lot of honey at my house. Yeah.
You just go to his house and it's just
Yeah.
constantly
It's
being
just-
attacked by bees. It's just swarms of bees just trying to claw their way into your house.
One thing I started this project and never actually did it, but when I was working at Starbucks, I wanted to do a 10-gallon batch of mead just made with the Starbucks packets of honey.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah,
Because every day I could grab a handful and shove it in my apron every single day, and then just cut them open,
that
squeeze it
would
out.
Be a little
It would take
labor
so
intensive.
long, and the honey's probably from fucking China or whatever.
Pretty much.
It
Yeah,
is
It's
most likely
corn
garbage
syrup.
honey.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's from Russia, and they just relabeled it Chinese honey
Right.
because it's illegal to import
and then
honey from China
sent it
right
to
now.
Taiwan, and
Yeah.
and then shipped it in.
And then they ship it in big 55-gallon drums, and then an American company puts it in a bottle, and it says "Product of USA"
Right.
on it because they
and
put
then
it
it
in a
goes
bottle.
to Stop and Shop. Yeah, pretty much. So that's why we only get honey from New York.
Yeah.
Yup.
directly.
I usually Russell Farms is usually the one I grab.
Yeah.
When I'm at
Yeah.
Adams
At
or
the
something
Adams,
like that.
yeah. Yeah, I started looking into
Fucking honey's
a
expensive.
different.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's
Fucking honey's
It's
expensive,
expensive.
man. It's
yeah,
really
for
expensive.
good reason. I mean,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
work
It's
hard. Those
ton.
bees work hard to make it.
What were you gonna say about?
I'm looking into a different apiary right now in New York. We've been sourcing mainly from this one in the Seneca Lake area, and I'll still continue to get from. They're awesome. They produce so much honey, and we get our clover honey from them. There's another apiary in that area. It's called Howland's Honey Farm or something like that, and they have so many varieties. It's insane. They actually have red bamboo honey, and I got a sample of it, and it's amazing. It is so good. I can't wait to make a traditional mead with it or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. They have star thistle honey. That's really good. Apple blossom.
Yeah,
Raspberry
I mean, if you've
blossom.
got a tap room, it'd be worth it for you
Yeah.
to do even just
Just do,
honey
10,
tastings.
20-gallon batch just to have something weird.
Yeah,
You know, it'd be kind of cool just to
accent-
have honey,
yeah.
honey with it, like honey tastings. Also.
Yeah,
Like this is the honey
we
that
will
we
be doing that. For
Yeah?
sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fucking A, man,
think
that's cool as
like
hell.
Me, yeah. No, we'll have all the different honeys and all the different ingredient products that we use in our meads. We'll have them for sale, and we'll do honey tasting stuff like that.
That's
It'd be awesome.
sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the amount of varieties out there.
Well, you typically only see wildflower,
Wildflower.
clover.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll see
anything that has a flower,
Orange
you can make
blossom.
Pretty much,
make
yeah.
honey out of.
Yeah. They have avocado blossom. They have avocado, peach. It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. It's pretty awesome. So red bamboo, that I'm looking forward to doing something with. It
What
tastes
was
nice.
that like?
It's definitely very dark, and it does have a red hue to it.
How
It's kind of like not quite like buckwheat, where it's crazy molasses. I know you're not a fan of
I
buckwheat.
fucking hate
Yeah,
buckwheat.
it's not quite to that level. It has a little
But
bit.
you don't
of
like
that,
buckwheat honey?
I don't like buckwheat. I don't
Buckwheat
like
honey.
buckwheat honey. It's just it's got this weird. It's like gaminess is to a goat. Buckwheat is to bread for me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah,
It's got that. It's got such a fucking
It's got a
funky
funk.
ass,
It's got a funk.
earthy,
Yeah.
weird mushroomy kind of flavor that I'm just like, ugh.
I
It's
mean,
just-
there's a
it's too
difference
much
too
for
in
me.
where you get your buckwheat honey, because in the eastern coast, in New York,
Yeah.
buckwheat honey is very harsh and funky and all that stuff you just described. But in the West Coast, Oregon and Washington, they have very nice buckwheat honey. It's just so palatable and light. And
Really?
yeah, it's
Oh,
really
okay.
interesting to see that. But yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe I'll look out for West Coast buckwheat
Yes.
because, man, Brooke got buckwheat honey one time. I was like, I can't fucking eat that. I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah, it could.
I was
be
planning on
pretty
putting this on
rough.
pancakes. I want to throw this out the goddamn window. It's disgusting. Give it back to him.
It happens.
Come here, bees. Do better. Have you tried? I probably asked this question before. Have you tried buckwheat honey?
Oh,
mead?
in mead, yeah. Actually, yeah. That's how I know that you don't like buckwheat, because the last time I was here, I forgot what batch it was, but I had buckwheat honey in it.
Oh,
it was another one that was a blank can like this. It was the one with cocoa nibs.
Was it
and wow, it's terrible.
Was it
I
safe?
can't remember.
It wasn't Safe Haven.
No, not Safe Haven. It was Busy Beaver. I don't know how we could forget that.
Yeah,
but
I don't. I don't remember it. That's weird.
I'm trying to remember. It's
so
terrible.
long.
I can't remember. I made so many different recipes, but it had cocoa nibs in it. I used buckwheat honey. I caramelized the honey, so it got rid of a lot of that funk by doing that.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of there, and I remember you enjoyed it. So maybe you do like buckwheat honey.
Fine. Whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked. The bamboo.
Yes,
bamboo
red bamboo. But yeah, it's not as objectionable as the buckwheat honey. It has like a nice lightness to it. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty awesome. What I'm planning on doing is maybe fermenting that out with, or fermenting that out as like a traditional mead, and then aging it on some like fancy type of oak, or like a different type of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Amburana wood, which is from Brazil. Something like to add a little
panache.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a fun word.
Yes. Maybe that's the name of the mead. It'll be called
panache. How do you spell that? How do you spell panache?
I don't know. I'm going to write, how do you spell panache? And then I'm just going to...
Pinos.
Pinos. Yeah.
With an E and an apostrophe accent.
I think it's something like this.
Pinochet?
No, there's no E at the end of it. It's just
You
P
could add
with the
a-
little thingy, and then nosh.
Panish.
Panache.
Real quick before I teased it before, but Poughkeepsie Journal, I stumbled across this thing. It's NewYorkDatabases.com by Poughkeepsie Journal, and you can it's like this data haven of all this weird shit. But one of the things that I found was that you can look up restaurants and their inspection grades based on county.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a search and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's information gathered by the government, so under the Freedom of Information Act, it needs to be public.
Yeah, so here it is. So all you got to do is type the bastard in. And here's the fun part. They have the worst ones, the most violations in the last 365 days, like critical violations, non-critical.
Oh, man.
You do have to, it looks bad. If you read into them, some of the stuff isn't that bad. But the ones where it starts getting into, 5 critical violations, that's you're going to start finding weird shit there. My favorite Chinese food place right down the road, China House, is not on here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, they are, but
but it's good.
They haven't had any. They had one issue,
but not that bad.
They had one issue a while back, and they've had 2 visits
that's
since,
good.
and they're up to snuff.
Is it bad that I'm very surprised?
So red is critical
everybody hates
violations?
that place. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love that
I used
place.
to eat there
They're
a
so
lot.
nice.
Yeah.
They're so friendly to me, and
That's all that
their
matters.
spring rolls. We get 8 at a time, and they know us now because of that.
I mean, I like China House. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I love it.
They have good wonton soup.
Chance is on this.
Chan speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That place
Come on,
is so clean.
Give me a
all right, give me
place.
Chan's. I want to see.
Chance.
Yeah.
Because you go in that place and it looks fucking immaculate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does. Hold on. My computer's acting a little funny, so it might be a second. Chan speaking. Raymond Avenue. All right, so it's 3 non-critical.
3
That's
non-critical.
Not bad.
That's like leaving fucking a quart of milk out.
Yeah.
So actually, well, here we go. So this is so as of November 13th, they have had a reinspection of all previous red violations, and they have been corrected. So before, in August, they got these. They got this whole fucking list.
man.
Holy shit! Food workers do not wash hands thoroughly after visiting the toilet, coughing, sneezing, smoking, or otherwise contaminating their hands. Toxic chemicals are improperly
But that
labeled.
also might be like something that's just at 3B. That's the description of it.
Right.
So it might have been one guy didn't wash his hands after he smokes a cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about this thing. Like you have to read it and you have to understand because like I looked up Crafted Cup on here and it had something that it made it sound like our bathroom was like the bathroom in Train Spotting.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Which
Jesus.
it's not. I've been
But
there.
it's not.
Yeah.
One of the things was we don't have automatically closing doors for the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Apparently, you have to have that. Like
I didn't even
the
realize
door
that.
has to automatically close for a bathroom. That was what we got dinged on.
Oh, but it had a whole list of
Which every restaurant in Poughkeepsie does not have.
No.
Those.
Yes, none of them have
No.
Yeah.
We have
fancy doors.
We have a new inspector, and she's
So-
very.
well,
thorough.
I remember when
You're gonna say something else.
Very thorough. We are more thorough.
Yeah.
but she's very thorough.
I remember the only couple times that I dealt with a health inspector at Crafted Cup, he goes, "Can you give me this is back when we had a refrigerator with all the cream cheeses behind the counter, where the stove is now."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Can you give me a quarter cream cheese out of that?" Like he wasn't even behind the counter.
Yeah.
And I go and I grab one. He's like, "Don't take one out of the door. Take one from the back of their fridge. What are you doing?"
Nice.
Yeah. So then he measured it. And he's like, "Perfect.
Yeah.
39 degrees. You're good."
God, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be back here in an hour.
Yeah.
So Chan's is clean bill of health as of November 13th. But they
I
had,
wanna see,
they had a
like-
rocky road here.
Yeah, let's.
A lot
we gotta
of
look.
stuff.
We
No,
gotta
but
look
it's
up
like
like
lighting,
yeah.
walk-in cooler.
Here's a big one right here.
Yeah.
Potentially hazardous foods are not cooled by an approved method where the food temperature can be reduced from 120 to 70. What is OF? What does that mean?
70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a degree
just-
symbol.
Yeah.
But it's not up high for some
I
reason.
see. It's
For less than 2 hours. So basically, they're talking about what this is, exactly what this is. You make a big pot of stock, and then they were cooling it on the counter and then putting it in the fridge.
Oh
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to waste a ton of electricity, and you're supposed to take that giant pot of stock and put it in your fucking freezer walk-in
Yeah.
with a temperature probe in there and some sort of air like mixer that moves the liquid around.
Because everybody has time for
because it needs to go from fucking 212 down to 70 degrees in under 2 hours, and then it can be refrigerated. It's very weird.
Like some of the stuff that they make you do is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Now, and I get that you're serving the public, you're supposed to be held to higher standards and everything like that. But
okay,
there's-
Anthony Bourdain said it
there's-
best. Why is it that if I leave a block of cheese out on a counter for more than 10 minutes, it's a health code violation, and yet the fucking pizza place across the street has pizza sitting out for 19 hours a day?
Cooked.
Cooked
Already
pizza
cooked.
sitting out for
Just
19
under,
hours a day.
It's under that, light.
No, they don't even keep it warm.
Yeah,
they just
yeah.
put it back in the oven for
Right.
fucking 2 minutes.
That's true,
It's
yeah.
like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
That block of cheddar sat in a 45 to 50 degree cool, dry place for the last 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right.
It can sit at room temperature for a
Right.
week before you'd have an issue. That's stupid.
That is a good point.
And like I'm a fucking stickler about this. It would drive me crazy when it's just like, can we not, like, this is disgusting. Can we not do this?
Yeah,
How
oh, yeah.
about how long ago did you make this? You didn't mark it.
Yeah,
How
right.
long ago did you make
Yeah,
this?
you don't know. Yeah.
And it's just like the other day I went kind of nuts. I got really angry about everything. And I pulled
Like you
all
do.
I pulled all the stuff out of the cooler, and I just seriously I was like, "Dennis, can I just bitch about this to you even though it's not your fault? I just want to talk to somebody about it." And I lined up 5 open simply orange juice containers, the half gallon, the big ones.
Yeah.
I lined up 5 of them, all open. 3 of them had this much in the bottom of them, and 1 of them had been in that fucking fridge for a month. It had just passed the expiration date, which means it's been in there open for a month, which means it's definitely no good. But the thing is, it's not past the sell-by date, so it's not a health code violation.
right.
Whereas that is absolutely no good.
This is no good.
Orange,
It's
orange
just
just
stuff
got
like,
pretty good shelf
just
life, but
rotate,
not that good.
rotate. just.
So I'm looking right here, the Peking House 5 on in Poughkeepsie.
Mm-hmm.
They got 6 critical and 6 non-critical, and they read them for filth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of paragraphs there.
Food worker male smoked a cigarette outside restaurant and returned to work without first washing his hands. Directed. Okay, so I guess they were like, "Hey, fuckhead." Directed worker. Directed worker to wash hands when which he did while workers were moving large metal pan into the walk-in cooler. One worker accidentally knocked into a container of raw chicken breast, causing 1 dozen raw chicken breasts to land on the floor of the cooler. Observed worker placed chicken that fell off the floor back into the container with the remaining chicken. No!
Sounds delicious.
No! No further action was going to occur. Directed workers to discard affected chicken. Per worker, ribs were it was like about 30 pounds of large cooked pork rib pieces cooling in a large metal bowl in the rear of kitchen at 99 degrees Fahrenheit per worker. Ribs were cooling there for about 30 minutes. Room temperature is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Ribs moved to the walk-in cooler. Blah, 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 blah. Container discarded about 2 pounds of cooked green beans in metal bowl found cooling in rear kitchen made 30 minutes ago. These people just make food and leave it around.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's how you go. That's how you go into a Chinese food restaurant, order your food, and walk out 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's the thing people don't realize. You go into any restaurant, everything's pre-cooked.
Yeah, big time.
Everything
Pre or par cooked.
But I mean, the thing, like at our restaurant, we're actually really good about that. At our restaurant, everything goes right back to they don't let it sit out and cool.
Yeah,
it goes right into the cooler, and the cooler is 38 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's going to cool off as fast as really possible. But there are certain things like if you make like a big tray of chicken wings and you want to leave it out for 20 minutes to let it cool before you put it in the cooler, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of time that you can have meat sitting out cooling. Which is insane.
Yeah.
Because you can make a chicken wing and you could have it sit out for 24 full hours and then throw it on the grill and it's going to be completely safe.
Yeah.
It's just silly. It's just silly to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See this one, like some of them, like this one, the new Fuxing restaurant. What looks like new fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
I feel like they did that on purpose.
They sure Fuxing did. They got 7 critical and 5 non-critical, but like you get a second inspection for this stuff, but I mean, see how they don't have there's no comments, so that's not as fun as the other one. That whoever wrote that last one was like a motherfucker.
We're getting.
So go back up. Go back up.
Sorry.
So this non-critical soup was at 155 degrees. It needs to be at 160 or above. It's just stuff like that. But it's one of those things where they're nitpicking about minutes.
Yeah.
So you cool off soup, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go to heat it up to serve it. You need to go from refrigerated to a full-on boil.
Right.
Then into the warming pan.
Yeah.
You can't just warm it up to 100. You can't just warm it up to 160 degrees.
Right.
And you can't warm it up slowly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even if you warmed it up slowly, how much bacteria is really going to grow in that 30 minutes?
Nothing.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's
I'm gonna
all
shout out
by
to-
the book.
And yet, when you go to a bar, they're not required to ever clean the tap lines.
No. Yeah.
Ever. Not
No.
once, ever. There's no law.
Yeah. Which
I
is
like
insane because you need to do that for sure.
Yeah.
And
You're not required to do it at all.
Don't forget the garnish trays. Oh man.
Yeah.
Garnish
Well,
trays.
if there's mold in it, you'll get hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
I mean, every day. I just dried out a bunch of citrus fruit and stuff because I was like, we need to stop garnishing stuff with fruit.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Half of it gets thrown out every day.
It's a waste.
It doesn't make any sense. So I just dehydrated it. It looks fancy. Let's just do it. It'll
There
keep
you
for
go.
weeks.
Yeah.
Right? But every day I go in and I throw out two limes, 2 lemons. It's just it's a waste of money and it's gross.
Waste of time. Yeah.
And then people just this is like the people that don't think about it. They take the jar that the lemons are in They dump the lemons out onto a cutting board. They clean the jar.
Yeah.
Then they cut new lemons, put them in the bottom of the jar, and then they take the old lemons and put them on top so that those lemons will get used earlier.
Right.
Now, the problem is if you're growing bacteria on those lemons, you've just transferred that bacteria into a clean
All over
container.
the
It's
other
called a
ones.
chain of contamination.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yep.
And this is why you should not get fruit in your drink at a bar.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't. But you can at the Tomato Cafe. Because I clean the fucking thing every day.
There you
And
go.
I throw out the
Nice and
limes
clean,
and
I
lemons
like
from
it.
the night before. But you open it and they're like, they have this like milky
film.
white
they
film
get that-
on them.
Yeah,
and
I'll
that's
never forget that
less,
working at bars.
Less
yeah.
than 24 hours that
Yep.
shit happens.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be cleaned twice a day for it to be really clean.
Yeah. It's gross.
And I mean, if you're in a place that has a ton of volume and they have backups, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, nice and
because they
fresh
cut it.
cut.
They cut it
Yeah.
all. It goes in a Cambro behind the bar, and then the Cambro's pulled out of whatever cooling station that they have when it's empty. They put the new one in, and then that goes back to the. But if you're working at a place that's not crazy busy, like where I am, that stuff needs to be cleaned every day.
Yeah, but the places that like go through them like crazy, you're talking about like clubs at night, and then people go and throw it on the ground, and then
Yeah,
they don't even drink
they don't
it,
even fucking eat it or use it.
Yeah, you would
So-
see like garnishes all over
Yeah.
the floor at the end of the night.
So I mean, like the only thing that I don't worry about is like olives.
Yeah,
It's in a brine.
Well,
it's fine.
I absolutely hate olives, so I do worry about them on a daily basis.
Big shout out to IBM building number 052 for getting a clean bill of health too. What the fuck is that? It's
You
like
should-
the cafeteria or some
Can
shit.
you pull up a
Probably.
couple of places that we can't talk about on the show?
Uh,
Just so we can look at them and laugh.
Yeah, sure. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Can we not talk them?
I mean, no. Pull up some places that some people might get mad if we talked about them on the show.
Our
No.
not our
No.
places.
Not our-
No.
Um,
Like our friends' places.
Am I like missing something here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I had that typed in already. I was just like,
Come on.
You made me second guess myself. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Zippity doo dah, motherfuckers. A+ rating.
There you go.
The other one's not as good.
Well,
What about?
so let's just talk about this.
Okay.
We have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Crafted Cup. We just got. Actually, no, that's not true. We got it sooner than that. That was the thing, the fucking toilet facilities thing.
Yeah.
We have no critical violations. We have a couple non-critical. It's nonsense stuff. However, all that stuff is going to be addressed tomorrow
Yeah.
because we're stripping the entire place and cleaning it.
Yes,
So
I heard.
that's what's happening. So we're closed for a
There you
few.
go.
But you might be surprised at the your old homestead. Actually, no, it's really good.
I know.
See?
Yeah.
Critical.
I almost guarantee what the non-critical ones are.
Yeah, you had a couple. You had a couple dings, but they were rectified immediately. 2 days later, to be exact.
Yeah, we had. I think there was a cooler that was broken. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what this one. I know what this one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it is people eating in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Every restaurant,
Yeah.
Ruby Tuesdays, all the way up to Brasserie, there are people eating in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're fucking going crazy and you're just shoveling fries in your face
Yeah,
so you can get
you're
through the next
working
2
like
hours. But that's
10
a
hours a
health
day.
code violation. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to do that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta eat.
Yeah.
So. I'll never forget that working like 12-hour shifts at a bar, and you just eat whatever you can, you know. I'm just gonna crack this open.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're like, I was like, you see what I mean? This was
Yeah.
like, I was obsessed with
We're just
this.
reading.
It's
for a
not-
while
I
ago.
would be obsessed with that. I mean, I am. I just figured.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I was
yeah,
wondering
let's
what
like-
this
we could
is.
keep
This,
it up. I was gonna
this
say
I have
we
not
can
had.
enjoy it while we're reviewing.
So yeah,
these.
this
So
is new.
this is we came out with this in the summer. But I had some limited.
This is yours?
You know, yeah, this is us.
Oh,
this is
I
Slate
thought
Point
this was
Meadery.
like, I thought this was another meadery that you were like, yeah, these guys are pretty good. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, look at this
I mean,
guy.
they are pretty
He's
good.
just a friend. He's
Yeah.
a friend to all meaderies.
A little moose. No, so what this is, you know, a lot of what Slate Point Meadery is all about is kind of, for lack of a better term, it's serious. This is silly.
Yeah.
And what basically what we're gonna do is come out with a whole line of meads that are baker inspired. You know, so like different dessert style flavors. You know, this one is salted caramel and chocolate.
So Moose Tracks.
Moose Tracks. Yes.
Oh, you cheeky bastard.
Yeah. So Elusive Moose is a
deep
caramelized honey mead. So we're caramelizing this and a lot more than what we did with the Cornerstone. And that's how you get, it's all good. I've tasted this many times. So we caramelize, I'll give you some more. Caramelize
I like that
clover
caramelized honey.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
Thanks. And we put some
that's so good.
Cocoa nibs in there. A particular kind of cocoa nib. It's from Sierra Leone.
Fancy pants.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a country in Africa that's been, war torn and everything, but they do make amazing cocoa nibs. No, there's a company
picked by child
Yeah.
slaves.
No, I didn't.
All those kids with their one hand.
Right. So
Jesus.
yeah, hey, you said it. There's a company called Meridian that they source like cocoa nibs from all over the world, and they have like amazing products. So use cocoa nibs in this, and the caramelization is from toasting up that honey, and then added some brewer's salt in it, sea salt right into it.
It's almost
let
like
it aged out.
like a mead goza.
Yeah, right. So this one's 6%, I believe. Yes, 6%.
This is great.
And as you can see, it's like the whole sort of branding of it is separate from Slate Point. But it's
that's
owned
why
by
I
Slate
thought
Point.
it was like from someone else. Just 'cause
a
it
lot
was
of people will say that. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I think you can only find this at Boutique Wine and Spirits in Fishkill. They're the only people that have it, and I think I have, other than this one, like 4 more cans. So I'll definitely make more of this, and we're gonna have just like the other one we talked about, Busy Beaver. That's like part of that line. I just didn't have a label for it at the time, so we're gonna kind of pump out a whole line of these.
Oh my god, this is really good.
Thanks.
I want to eat this with I want to drink this with a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just like pour it on top of.
Yeah, it's not like it's not incredibly sweet, but it's got these that caramelized honey, man. I love that.
It's
shit.
so good. Yeah, I don't know. Ever thought of doing that?
Those Bouchers and all that. It's just like it brings out this just really strong. I don't know, like
just goodness.
It's a it's obviously a caramel flavor because it's caramelized, but
Right.
it's like it's just a richer, stronger taste than like just regular
than
sugar.
just like than caramelizing sugar. Yeah, it's completely different. Yeah, it's really cool.
Is like if I took honey, threw it in a pan on the fucking the fucking stove, I can caramelize my own.
Yeah, you
sugar,
can do
right?
it. Yeah.
Is a pain in the ass? Like
I don't know. You got to really watch it. I mean, we're doing like 100 pounds at a time, so it gets kind of crazy. But when I first started doing this with the honey, like I would do like 5 pounds at a time just to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
It can get messy. You got to keep an eye on it because it will. You could have like this much in a pot that's like that tall.
Okay, so like an
And
inch,
like
an
an
inch
inch.
worth in a
Yeah,
like
sorry, yeah.
6 cups, 8 cups.
Yeah,
saucepan.
picture like I don't know, 6 gallons and 30-gallon brew kettle.
Yeah, piece
Like
of cake.
literally at the I don't know.
I have no idea what that means.
1 gallon and 10 gallon.
Yeah,
brew
okay,
kettle.
sure.
So it's like lining the bottom.
Yeah.
Just a little bit as you heat it up. You're heating it up to like 230, 250 degrees. When you get to that 220 mark, a little bit towards 230, that's when it starts to just rise very rapidly. And if you're not paying attention and you're just letting it the heat's on high, it's going to go over the top and just like pour over.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, and it will hit that, like, it looks like it's going nice and slow and you don't have to worry about it. All of a sudden it's just like, boom, it just like starts to rise and marshmallow like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game that you play with, like turning the heat down and letting it kind of drops and then turn it up. And it's kind of like finding that middle ground until you get to a point, like you could see on our Instagram feed, some of the posts, like our videos of caramelized honey, and you'll see it will just constantly boil and like it looks like marshmallows, like just like little puffs of sugary honey. Yeah, it's really cool. It smells amazing. Definitely keep your doors and windows closed because bees will come in.
Really?
And it's like in the summer, yeah. Like they'll come, like they love it, because it's just like so potent and powerful.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. So yeah, you can do it. Anybody can just toast up some honey.
Try it. The wife can't have honey anymore. It's she can't have fructose in her diet.
Gotcha.
But she has. I think she tried the greenlit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she tried the greenlit and it didn't bother her.
Yeah, if it's fermented out.
because all the sugars are fermented out. So
Yeah, definitely.
that was a big plus.
Yeah,
she's like,
that's
I'm gonna
good.
give it a crack, see how it goes. I'm
All
like,
right.
all right, how'd you do? She's like, I feel fine. I'm like, all right,
That's good.
Rock
That's
and
good
roll.
news.
Have you heard about like people doing gluten-free bread, but it's actually just sourdough bread that they fully ferment and then they add baking soda back in, so it re-leavens it, and it supposedly tastes almost like real bread.
Yeah,
because it's made with flour, but the yeast eat all of the
I've heard of that.
Like the enzymes in the yeast break down the gluten and blah blah blah.
People have said that to me. They're like, sourdough is gluten free. I'm like,
It is not.
It is not. I think you can make it gluten free.
Yeah.
No fucking bread maker
Would
is
ever want
gonna
to.
is gonna want to do that or explore doing that for their like 5 customers that want a gluten free sourdough loaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things like whiskey, even though the wort that it was made from is not gluten free, it's just like it's not in there.
No.
So it's the same thing with this. That
same idea.
The thing that she can't do, her body can't do it, the yeast did it for her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is it's cool.
But if she were to have something that were caramelized, probably not.
Yeah. Most likely not.
Because the yeast can't eat those sugars.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. It's just not it's not the same as like just raw honey where it's like eating
it's not as efficient.
Yeah. No, totally.
You guys want to watch a 100-mile-an-hour car crash in Connecticut?
Okay.
I mean, I got to pee really bad, so if you want to do that, and then I'll come back.
Okay.
But we have to get to these 2 things. So if you run out of stuff, plug food stock, okay?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
But you sure you don't want to watch? Like, I feel like
I really do want to
Yeah,
watch
you really
this.
do.
It's only a minute long.
It's
I
a
can
minute
make it.
long. It's not going to be a minute because it's it's all right. So here you go. This guy, he's driving. I think he's on. I'm pretty sure he's on 84 in Connecticut somewhere, and he's on his cell phone and he's listening to terrible music.
That's great.
And he's driving 100
And
miles
his tire
an hour.
pressure light's on.
Oh, is that his tire pressure light?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Fucking
Okay.
idiot.
Well, all right. So he's going.
Yeah, we're going to get fucking tagged just for this.
So he's just moving right along. The video goes on. He's just driving. He's just driving. He's just driving. So here we go.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
That's that shit.
His exit's coming up, so.
It takes good reason for your dead friend when it's
In 500 feet, keep left at the fork. Follow signs for Broughton.
Dude, I lost my shit.
Oh my God.
That fucking GPS at the end killed me. Yeah, he came up to this fucking, like, I was like, all right, this guy's going to crash around this turn because it's a hard turn. But when that fucking GPS hit, man, that was
Well, it probably is because he didn't have enough air in his tires.
Probably not.
Cars don't handle very well with flat tires.
Oh, man. Yeah. So
All right, I'll be right back.
He's-
Plug food stock when you're done with this.
He's fine. Everybody's fine.
Is
It's
he?
just like,
Is he okay, though?
Yeah, he really is. He really is fine. It just, it was, fucking in 500 feet.
Yeah. Like, I already did it.
I was
already
I was
turned.
alone down here giggling to
Yeah.
myself like a fucking idiot. It was great.
love it.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to the boss told me to plug food
food
stock. Yeah,
no,
so
it's an awesome thing.
Food Stock 12, do you know about it?
Yeah.
It's on January 11th. It's this Saturday. It's from 5 to 11. All proceeds benefit the Dutchess Outreach and the Children's Home of Poughkeepsie. It's a bunch of bands. The Patrick James Band, Albino Love Slaves, and a band we know that we've seen before, Cersei. And we're going to be at the Chance interviewing them.
That's awesome.
And just because we've been trying to get them on the show for fucking ever. Because
Yeah.
have you ever heard of these? Have you ever heard of them?
Adam was telling me about them. Yeah.
It's a. Do you know? Did he tell you about how they? It's a 2-piece band,
No.
husband
Yeah.
and wife.
Okay.
She stands up. She's playing drums, but she stands up.
I heard
and while
about
she's
this.
standing,
Yeah.
she triggers like bass notes with like a trigger pad, and he, while he's playing guitar, is triggering bass notes with his feet on a trigger pad on the floor, along with all his effects and everything like
Right,
that.
right.
They put on a
That's
fucking
awesome.
great show,
Yeah,
man. They
that
put on
sounds
a
good.
really good show.
Cersei, huh?
And they've gone through some really tough shit.
Mm.
She's had a couple bouts with cancer and beat them
wow.
both, and like, so I'm really stoked to
That's
interview them because
awesome.
I have so many
Yeah.
fucking questions. As,
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
music geek, I'm
Right.
just like I can't contain myself. I'm like I'm like. So how does this happen? And when you're doing that, how you focus on this? And how are you guys even having fun when you're doing this? You're too
Yeah.
busy doing all kinds of
Right,
shit.
right.
How are you
You're trying to
smiling at
time
each
all
other and like and enjoying your company? I'd be like freaking out having a
I don't know why they haven't agreed to come on.
yeah. Well, like every time
Yeah.
they're from Albany or the Albany area.
Up that way, yeah.
So every time they're in town, they're on tour.
Yeah.
So they're in town for like a day or two,
Yeah, they
and then
only-
they're off to the next one.
Right,
So
right.
it's hard. It was hard pinning them down. So I'm really stoked that.
I think they're farther away than Albany.
Oh yeah, maybe like Saratoga or Boston Spa. Kind of
Something
thing.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
it's
hard
tough to
nailing them down.
I
and
feel
we
like it
finally
starts
got
with
'em.
an E.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Snap Hammer will be there also. Layla Mock and Cold Flavor Repair. I got to talk to them about their name. Cold Flavor Repair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
How
So
about just Flavor Repair? That's a fun one. Or Cold Flavor.
Cold Flavor sounds like a mid '90s like rap group. You know,
Cold flavor.
like they've got like 9 members
Yeah.
and none of
And
them
one
play
hit.
none of them play instruments.
It sounds like
Oh, shit.
112.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
so I'm excited.
I'm really stoked.
So
It's gonna be fun.
my plan, I'm gonna bring a camera.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll record it. You get me the audio. I'll put something up on YouTube on Monday, and then you can put the show up on Monday. So that'll be our Monday show.
Right on, right
Sound
on. Nice. Yeah. What do you got there?
All right, so we plugged food stock. So we went to the hospital last night.
Wait, after
Mm-hmm.
after
After everybody, so yesterday was my birthday.
Yeah.
What the
Happy
Right?
birthday.
Thank you. So we drank a bunch. We made pizza.
Yeah.
The Bosches brought over their pizza.
yeah, it's pizza. It's really
GF.
just a really crispy biscuit that we put cheese on.
Nice. That
I'll
sounds
write down a crispy biscuit.
yeah.
It's good
It sounds good.
if you're like, this is pizza.
yeah. Or I don't want pizza, but I want a crispy biscuit.
Yeah, I want a crispy biscuit
With
smothered in
cheese on
cheese
it.
cheese.
And remember how Brooke can't have like
Yeah.
vegetables, even though she's a
Right.
vegetarian. She can't have tomatoes either.
Oh.
So there's no tomato
was
sauce
like
on it.
So
It was
garlic
it was
and
a
oil
biscuit
sauce.
with garlic and oil and broccoli.
I mean,
and
that sounds
cheese.
amazing.
It's delicious.
just-
It tastes fucking great,
Yeah.
but it is
not pizza.
It's not pizza. You could dunk it in some sauce.
I will say this though, Baccio around the corner
Yeah.
has really
Oh.
good gluten-free pizza.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they make great
amazing
pizza.
regular pizza
Yeah.
too, so I'm not surprised.
But anyway,
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah. So everybody like
We all we're like old
Yeah.
people. This was
yeah,
an
and
old
also my
person
birthday
party.
was was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So she was like, "What do you want to do?" And like my real answer was kind of like nothing.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to watch TV or whatever.
Yeah, I've been there.
But I just said eat pizza. So she's like, "Okay, I'll make pizza. Do you want to invite some people?" And I was like, "Just invite Joe and Monica, Bosch and Brooke. That's it. Just warn Bosch and Brooke that we're making pizza, so they'll have to bring their own food." And I was like, "I'm going to drink some beers and just like be off the diet and just fuck around all day." Which we accomplished. That all went perfectly
good.
well.
Very nice.
Everybody left at like
We-
8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like 8:30,
Yeah.
9 o'clock because we went
'Cause
home,
everybody had-
showered,
everybody-
in bed.
Everybody had to work the next
Yep.
day. I didn't have to work today, so
All right.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I knew everybody had to work the next day, so I'm not gonna be like, come over at 8. Everybody would have been gone by 10.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been very fun at all.
Yeah,
so it was
day
good.
drinking's where it's at anyway.
So everybody left like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I take a shower. Amy's getting ready for bed. We've both been sick all week.
Yeah.
I was sick for like 3-4 days. I'm over it now, but I'm still got like that,
the
little
leftover.
stuffy, coughing shit up.
Yeah.
But she's like in the throes of it. And in the morning, she was coughing so much in the bathroom. I was like, we're canceling this. We're not doing this. You're not making pizza tonight. And then she took some cold medicine. She felt fine.
Yeah.
So we had the party, and she drank a whole bottle of wine to herself, and she doesn't drink that much anymore.
That's a lot.
So she
That's a
had
tiny little thing.
she had basically 5 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
And some pizza, and that had nothing to do with why we went to the hospital.
Okay.
So I was like,
suspense is killing me.
Oh my god.
So I was just like, all right, you get ready for bed. I'm going to take a shower, and I hear her coughing a little bit. I take a shower. I come back out, or no, I didn't even take a shower. I don't think. I don't remember. I was drunk, really drunk.
You might have taken 2 showers.
It was my birthday. I don't remember. But so now we're on like a full hour of, like, when I say she was coughing, I mean cough, 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 cough for a full hour. It was breathing and coughing.
Oh man.
There was no stop to it. It's like when you have the hiccups and you can't stop.
Yeah.
That's how it was. It was just cough,
Holy
cough,
shit.
cough, cough.
Jeez.
So I was like, okay, come with me. So we sat in the bathroom with like the shower going for like 15, 20 minutes, try and help her clear out. But it was like, it wasn't a cough that was producing anything.
Oh yeah.
It was just bad. And I was like, you're going to like tear your esophagus and throw up fucking blood. Jeez. Like, that's it. We're going to the hospital. But we're both drunk. And I was like, this is not time to call an ambulance.
Did you Uber?
We took an Uber to the hospital. Yeah. Cause I was like,
What you tell
that
the
fucking
Uber
driver must
Did he
have been
know?
shitting.
Yeah.
So we were standing in
Him or her?
Yeah. So it was a guy.
Okay.
Yeah. He was fine.
Shitting his
Yeah.
pants?
So I just
we have to go to the hospital. What?
yeah.
Wait.
Well, I mean, he accepted the ride.
Yeah.
They have public service for that.
It's 12 o'clock at night, and he accepted the ride to the emergency room.
Cheaper
so,
by Uber.
like,
Hell yeah.
yeah. But I mean, had we called an ambulance, it would have been several $1,000s.
Yeah.
Like, your insurance would have covered it, but there would have been a
Yeah.
deductible.
Yeah,
it would have
yeah,
been.
yeah,
it would have
yeah,
cost
yeah,
us
yeah.
hundreds.
It would cost them.
Yeah,
too.
Right.
$2,000-$3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So
$20.
So we took an Uber. It was like $8.
Yeah.
We go to the hospital, and there was no one in the emergency room, which was the best part.
Nice.
Right. So they give her like the inhaler thing with albuterol, and that helped, except for her like blood pressure and heart rate was through the roof because that's what albuterol does. And like, long story short, she has bronchitis.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
So we were in the hospital for like 3 hours last night, and mind you, we're both drunk.
Yeah. You sobered up though over those
Not
3
really.
hours. Oh really?
No.
No, we were
No.
drinking a lot.
And like
On
I even
the
told the
whiskey, we had
doctor,
beer, we had
I
gin-
told
I had brought prosecco. She had like
Yeah.
a bunch
Oh
of
my
wine.
and I told the
Bring some
doctor,
roadies.
I
I
told the
was
doctor
fucked up when I
everything.
left. I was only there for a couple hours.
So I told the doctor like everything, how I had been sick, then she'd been sick. She felt better today, but
Yeah.
so they were worried about like pneumonia,
Oh yeah.
that kind of thing. So it could have been pretty serious, but it's like viral bronchitis, and
Jeez.
she's okay now. But they got her
Right.
on medication and stuff. So
Nice.
so yeah, so that was my birthday,
It's a nice way to end the birthday.
Yeah.
A little hospital time.
and then we took an Uber home too.
Oh nice.
And this one had an option. It was like an Uber Comfort. I don't even remember what kind of car it was, but
Yeah.
they
What do they have? Heated seats or some shit?
All right.
it was like leather or whatever. I don't remember.
Alright.
But it was like a high-end Hyundai. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like a Santa Fe that was fully loaded.
Yeah.
And you have the option now to tell the driver you don't want to talk to them.
That's
And you have the option whether you want like the interior of the car warm. Yeah. I'm dead serious.
That's weird as
Said
hell.
it was just but the options were just like quiet please,
Quiet.
Conversation's great.
I
Or
would
no
put-
preference.
I would put quiet please and then get in the front seat. And then just sit there.
I wish I could set up a camera for that.
Yeah.
Just the guy like
You
just
gonna say
constantly
something?
side-eyeing you. The whole time. You can't move. You have to just stare
Yeah,
straight
you just-
ahead.
But I mean
And then as you're leaving, don't make eye contact. Don't even look at him. Just say thank you.
Yeah.
Just a simple thank you.
And then
on
he
your
starts
way
to
out.
say something like, no, don't
No
say
talking.
anything.
But there was like, you know how it says like Uber XL or whatever, and you confirm things. This said Uber Comfort. It was $3 more. I was like, you know what? We're leaving the hospital at 2 something in the morning. Let's see what this is all about. So I set it to warm because she's always cold. And we got in that fucking car. It was 85 degrees in there.
No, man. Jeez.
God. Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot. Our car was said like 1 minute away. He's turning this, that, whatever. We go out in the front yard and we see a car pull up and we're like, not panic, but like we got to go.
Yeah.
And like we go to open the door and there's people in the back of the car and it was our Airbnb guests.
Oh, really?
It was not our car at all. It was the car that they Ubered back from whatever bar they were at.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, sorry. So then we awkwardly like stood in the front yard, which is trying not to cough, waiting for our ride.
God.
So yeah. So we went to the hospital.
Jeez.
And everything's fine now. But that was interesting.
Jesus Christ, that's a moments like that where you're just like hanging out and everything, and you're a little messed up, and then
you're like, we need to go to the
hospital.
I mean, that's the thing. Like we could have called an ambulance, but it definitely wasn't at that level.
Yeah.
But I definitely could not drive.
Right. But
There's
looking
no
back
way.
on it today, do you think you really needed to go to the hospital?
Yes.
It was
She.
Okay.
I mean, she coughed for 2 straight hours.
Yeah. All right. That's scary. Yeah.
Like cough, inhale, cough, inhale, cough. There was no downtime.
I just didn't know if it was exaggerated from being drunk.
No, because I was seriously like trying to calm her down. Like, I was in the moment. I was thinking that she was maybe getting a little freaked out, and that was making it worse.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But then when we were in the car, she was trying so hard not to cough that she looked like she was in agony.
Yeah.
And then they gave her the albuterol, which helped a little bit, but I think it more just got her high.
Yeah,
rather than anything, because like people don't realize albuterol is like that's like an upper.
Oh,
that
is it?
gets you like
Really?
Yeah, if you take albuterol when you're not having an asthma attack, you feel like you can fucking karate punch King Kong in the face. I mean,
holy
yeah,
shit!
I remember.
Wow, that's a thrilling night.
Yeah,
thrilling birthday.
Yeah, and after I had eaten like 12 slices of pizza over 6 hours, it was not.
Oh
fun.
yeah, I ate a lot.
Nice.
We have a whole other pizza in the fridge. I'm gonna eat that shit
after
I hit this button.
You mean biscuits with cheese? Biscuit.
Yeah, I got some cheese biscuits. With broccoli and olive oil on them.
Yeah.
Who the fuck wants like I love broccoli.
Yeah,
I eat broccoli.
Good.
I eat broccoli so much it actually I wound up in the hospital. I got kidney stones.
How many times you go to the hospital?
Well, this was like 6 months ago. I got
He's got one of those customer cards.
Yeah,
punch
I'm back.
No, I was doing the ketogenic diet and I was eating broccoli like twice a day because it's like a keto vegetable, but it's really high in
loaded with calcium. Right?
It's loaded with calcium and iron, which caused me, combined with dehydration, caused me to get kidney stones.
Oh,
so I wound up in the hospital. So I would never put broccoli on a pizza.
It's actually like Baccio again.
Mm-hmm.
Does whatever they do with their broccoli, they cook it first. They roast it first or whatever, or pan fry it, and then put it on the pizza.
Nice.
So it doesn't get all soggy and weird. They do a fucking good job over there.
I'm gonna go.
I should talk shit a little bit.
It used to be we got Baccio the day of your wedding. And it sucked.
It was gross.
Wow,
yeah, I
really?
remember. Like
Why?
it was 10 years ago.
Oh, right.
It was probably when they first opened.
Yeah.
But we got like 2 buffalo chicken pizzas.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, we should have gotten all pepperoni and all cheese. But we got like buffalo chicken and a couple other things. The buffalo chicken pizzas were so gross we couldn't eat them. And this was before you were gluten free at the time, weren't you?
No.
No?
Not at the wedding, no.
Oh, okay. We've had this discussion before.
Maybe.
On the show. But yeah, so it was just like, it was obviously like really crappy, like Tyson frozen breaded chicken.
Man.
Yeah. You know that it's really
and
thin,
it's chewy,
and it's the
breading.
breadcrumbs.
The breading peels off.
Yeah,
I've had that
and it's
type
got
of
the
pizza
it's got the
before with that
flecks
chicken.
of seasoning in it too.
Yeah.
You can see like the
not good.
oregano and shit laced through with it.
Baccio's
gross,
does not
man.
do that anymore.
No, they don't.
amazing.
They're great.
Another
They're
pizza
really
kit.
good.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that, so I didn't buy a pizza from them for like 7 years after that.
Yeah,
and then when we started doing open mic at Crafted Cup, I ordered a pizza from there. I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And now everything's been good.
They got this delivery guy. He's like a fucking real Goomba.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fucking meatball Italian American guy, but he's so friendly. And
Is
he's
it
so
the guy
nice.
that wears the fucking leather biker jacket?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the guy. His hair slicked back.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking V-neck, white T-shirt, cigarettes rolled up in the
playing the
sleeve.
part.
He's just like, I tip him. He's just like, thank you so much, man. God bless. Have a good evening. I'm like, sure thing, Gino. Fucking shit. he's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
though. And we
They're
always
all
get
really
him.
nice
So
in there. Yeah.
shout out. All right, what do you say?
We can be done.
And that's how you end the show.
That's right.
All right, we've been shooting the shit with Eric from Slate Point Meadery.
You caught it.
Woo!
Oh, that's a close one.
Slate Point Meadery, spmeadery.com, at spmeadery on Instagram. They're going to be opening a tap room in Poughkeepsie very soon. They sell high-quality mead.
Thank you, sir.
They create and sell high-quality mead. And they're going to have a tasting room. And it sounds like you're going to, it sounds like you're mostly excited for having a bunch of new crazy stuff for people to try, just so you can get some feedback. So that's going to be fun.
I'm gonna have a fun time.
I think it's great. This stuff is awesome, man. You definitely you knock it out of the park every time you come on here. So
I'm glad
what
you
more
enjoy
is
it.
there to say?
Well, thank you for having me. I have a good time every time. I don't know what else to say.
And we'll see you next year.
Yes, next January.
Yeah, we'll do a remote from the tap room.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Do like a grand opening remote. Just make sure your Wi-Fi is pretty good.
Oh, I'll make sure.
Speaking of a remote, no live show on Monday because we're going to be posting the interview that we're having with Cersei, the band Cersei. We've been trying to get them on the show for a long time. This Saturday night, that's January 11th, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Food Stock 12. Proceeds to benefit Duchess Outreach and the Children's Home of Poughkeepsie. The bunch of bands going to be playing. Food Stock 11 is where we met Sponge.
Food Stock 10 is where
10?
I met Sponge.
11.
Yeah, because if you just
10.
Google Food Stock, it takes you to Food Stock 2017.
So this year they got the Patrick James Band, Cersei, Albino Love Slaves, Snap Hammer, Layla Mock, and Cold Flavor Repair. It's at the Chance, of course. Where else would it fucking be? Civic Center? Civic Center sucks. So, yeah. Come on out if you're listening to this.
Yeah, tickets are $15. I believe there's going to be plenty available at the door.
We're going to be hanging out. There's going to be raffles and all. Everything is to benefit the Duchess Outreach. So it's a great cause. And the guys that put this together, it's Lorenzo and I want to say the guy's name is Ryan.
Ryan. You got it.
Yeah. So
they're the guys that do First Friday. They've been on the show.
They're
great guys.
awesome with First Friday, and they've been doing this for 12 years. So, this is their thing. So it's going to be a good show. No live show, and we are taking a break from the show. So next week we'll have the interview with Cersei, and after that, I think we're
going to take
like
3 to 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
Dead Radio vacation.
Yeah. It's that if you remember from the episode titled "Our Very Last Show," way back when, same shit. We're just taking
a month off.
We need a breather to recoup and
to kind of miss the show again, so that we actually work at it, which neither of us have done since my wedding.
It's gotten like this is the first time I came home and I started just making sure I was up to date on all your stuff and everything like that, and I got to do this Cersei interview. I got to make sure I have questions I want to ask for Cersei and stuff, but it's just some of this. Sometimes it's just that we're on coast.
I kind of felt it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't listen to this show.
So we're just recharging the batteries.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're gonna be back in mid February, somewhere or early February. I don't know. We'll see.
We should try. Maybe we'll do a birthday show for you. Let's just do a half-hour birthday show, so I can give you a bottle of bourbon.
All right.
And then we'll take 2 weeks off after that. Something like that. It just seems weird that you gave me this bottle of bourbon, and then us to not do a birthday show for you.
If you give me something on my birthday and we do a show like 3 weeks later, I'll probably still have it. I just nip. I nip at it. I have one or two, and that's it. And then I won't have any for like a couple days.
All right. Well, let's just go bowling or something for Joe's birthday and yours.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Should be fun.
All right.
Be a good time.
I'm glad we planned that out on the show.
Yeah, sounds good.
Everybody's gonna come.
No, let's go play pool.
Yeah,
We've
let's
done that in a
I haven't
long
played
time.
pool in forever. Find a really shitty pool hall.
Well,
There's only one.
yeah, we're gonna go to the Juliet because it's right there. I mean, I'm not saying that it's shitty there. I mean, it's not great, but it's a mile from here, so that's the one we're going to. All right, well, that should be fun.
All right, cool.
None of you are invited.
spmeadery.com. You can find some of their brews all over the place, but you can check it out at 44 Raymond Avenue in Poughkeepsie at the Crafted Cup. We got the Cornerstone and the Greenlit and the Curtain Rose.
Yeah.
We'll load you up, and then we'll kick you out the door, send you off to the website to buy more stuff.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's enough.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, wait, titles? We didn't do titles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We only have 3.
Engaging conversation.
Do you have anyone?
No.
You don't
I
have
don't.
any?
I don't.
All right, so we have the detergent store.
Okay.
How do you spell panache?
Okay.
And a crispy biscuit.
Crispy biscuit, huh? Huh. These aren't.
They're not that great.
We could combine some of them, like the crispy detergent store
A crispy biscuit at the detergent store.
with some panache.
Some panache. I kind of like how do you spell panache? Only because.
It's definitely spelled wrong there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big time. It looks like punish.
Let's do that.
How
Let's
do you
how do you spell
panache?
panache?
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Hashtag crispy biscuit.
Crispy biscuit. Yeah. There you go. Hashtag gluten free. We've did it. All right. Until
So we'll see you Monday.
ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It'll
we'll
be
be in the
Monday.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't see you. You'll hear us on Monday.
Yeah. Whereas I'll just be off all that day.
All right.
Great.
Until next time.
Thanks.